All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to start our first game of NA for our final week of qualifiers for NA for the MG League, the MG Showdown, NA versus EU. Tonight, we're going to be having Group A battle it off versus Group B. We're going to be playing Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday. We do have some server stuff happening on Wednesday, so we may be changing the schedule of that game. But welcome in if it's your first time checking out the Showdown League. This is a prize pool of $5,000 total dollars, 1,000 being given away during the regular season, being split between North America and Europe. And as I mentioned, we are approaching that final week of qualifiers. So each group, NA and Europe, are going to be playing 30 games. And right now, we're getting pretty close to the end there. So it's exciting to see these teams finalize their position on the scoreboard. Once we get to the finals, we'll be giving away an additional $4,000 here. First place is going to be taking home $2,000. Each and every day during the qualifying session, we're playing 5 matches, 3 on Erangel, 2 on Miramar. And we're going to head over to the leaderboard so you guys can take a look at where everybody stands over the past 2 weeks. So this is a pretty good time to look at the leaderboard, kind of take it all in. We'll be checking back in on this because it's a lot of information to look at here. But what you need to know is that 7 Kings are in a huge lead right now. They're getting close to 300 points. Behind them is Vigorous, who made a big comeback to get into second place. They were looking really strong last week. And then Affinity is in third place with 215 points. And Console Killers are the last team to have more than 200 points. So top 4 there really kind of ran away with it so far, Stento. And then we have Abnormal in 5th, Crazy Mob in 6th, Toxic in 7th, Winner Circle in 8th, the Dub Hub in 9th. So in NA, 9 of the teams are going to be going into the showdown because we have 24 teams. In EU, it's only the top 8. And then right on the cusp is Phase 9, Bloodhounds, and Torch, who are all over 100 points. So if you're on that left side, you're feeling pretty good going into this last week. If you're on the right side, you have a lot of work to do. Main Gaming is the closest one on the right side, but they're still in 80 points. So nobody's in that 90-point range. So there is about a 20-point gap from the left side to the right side. And then on top of that, we're going to show some other statistics here. We have the kill leader. Stento, do you want to go through kill and damage for everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going, everybody? Once again, welcome to the Main Gaming NA versus EU Showdown. Jumping into our week 3 action here with North America and taking a quick look at your kill leaders here. Vigorous on top with the young lad Kidzo leading the way here. And then we've got a couple members of the 7 Kings, our first place team, being led by Warhawk with 41 kills. Quavo right behind him with 37. For Abnormal, Tony representing the 4th spot with 36 kills. We saw some absolutely insane plays out of Tony in the last event for NA. Tony with a nice squad wipe on a team and ended with like 12 kills in one of the rounds. So some pretty insane solo plays coming out of Tony for ABN, who are a top team. They're in about 5th place right now. So it's good to see some new teams really starting to mix it up and stake their claim here. And in the 5th place, 4 kills is another member of VIG. That's Prodigy. Oftentimes laying it down with the DMR. And switching it over to our damage leaders real quick. Lots of the same names. Prodigy leading the way here. We oftentimes again see this man laying down some insane long range DMR shots, so keep an eye on him. I don't think actually Vig is playing tonight, but Kidzo right behind him. AFI Hobie in the 3rd place spot. Warhawk in the 4th place spot. And rounding out the top 5, one of the members of the Console Killers, Pixel. Something we like to do recently is grab a couple of the teams in the mix here and really compare them head to head. Tonight, we've chosen Crazy Mob and Abnormal. I believe they're in the 5th and 6th placement spots. So they're right in the mix of things here on the top side of the leaderboard. They're going to be very important to keep an eye on today, as there are several teams trying to work their way into the top 9 teams that are going to be moving on to the finals here. So a quick comparison of these two teams. You can see kills are very close together, 102 versus 103. A good amount more damage. However, for Abnormal, they're a little bit higher up on the leaderboard, so it makes sense. In average placement, 6 versus 7 there. Both teams averaging around 8 points per match. And rounding out our final stats of the evening is something we'd like to show really quickly, our MVP so far of the event, and that's going to be Warhawk representing the 7 Kings with an 88 Twire rating. And quickly, before we catch the end of the map here, Blitz, we do see the plane path coming down from the Stalber area, and it just finished Down towards the left side of military base, so a slight right to left from the top of the map there. And once again, I want to welcome everybody to the main gaming NA versus EU showdown. We've got 5 matches tonight, so get your favorite drink, get some popcorn. We've got a big show as the top teams in North America battle it out for their chance in the showdown finals. And first circle has popped. Let's take a look.
Yeah, this is really exciting, and thank you guys for tuning in and day out. And also, I was kind of just perusing social media the other day on Twitter, and I happened to see a lot of tweets that weren't even mentioning us or Main Gaming, just talking about the event and that the people were enjoying, looking forward to watching and stuff like that. And it's nice to see people just casually mentioning it, while you're going through your feed. So thank you to you guys for viewing, and then also obviously to all the players for fragging out and taking the time to play throughout the showdown. And as we get closer to the end of the qualifying and into playoffs, it's going to be fun to see the NA and EU teams finally clash here. And we had some pretty good games on EU, but I'm really excited for NA because they've been really bringing the heat each and every night so far. Slow start, though, early on, but I think, how NA goes, things will get aggressive pretty soon.
Yeah, it might be worth our time to check out the Yasnaya scene. It looks like Console Killer's landing pretty close to Eno here. We've seen these guys clash a couple times, trying to find their own landing spots here. But right now, both teams landed on the northeast side of this compound, very close together in these apartments. So might see a little bit of a stalemate here, but this is where the action is early on. And right in the right spot. The mollies are out. Nades are going out as well. Let's see what Pixel can land with this grenade. It's going to be close to 40 there. Doesn't connect on any damage.
So Eno's kind of been bouncing around on the leaderboards for people listening in right now. Currently, they are in 22nd place, which doesn't feel like they should be because they've actually had some really good fights throughout the event so far. But obviously, the competition is just really fierce here with 24 teams. It makes it even more difficult. And look at Pixel going for this jump. Almost makes that. That's a pretty hard one to do on console. Pixel very close to getting across, which could have surprised Eno here. So CK is our 4th place team. Eno is our 22nd place team. See if they can survive this push from CK and Pixel. He's heading in with an gets killed from the side. Their teammate trying to go up the stairs. This is Ranger Jr. They're stacking the building pretty quickly. Finally chasing down, gets the knock, but there's people spread out within the building. So Bazaar is going to go down as well from Eno from across the way. Is that Tokyo? Ranger Jr.'s up top.
Yeah, Ranger Jr. Yeah, giving us a good angle of what's kind of going on below. Both teams have knocks here. They're just trying to prevent the thirst. Unfortunate for CK. Tokyo's going to confirm that kill onto Bazaar as Ranger Jr. tries to get a little bit of an angle here. Not going to see anything. Trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the other teammate. Pixel is back up. So CK going to get back to 3 strong. Eno going to lose one member there. 48 is going down. And Ranger Jr. with a confident peak standing on top of that right there. I love the confidence there. He actually picks up 3 of those kills. And Blitz, this is what we talk about. Is the 4-man wipe worth one of your players early on? I say yes every time. CK putting 4 on the board. They do lose Bazaar, though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely worth it for early points. Game 1, the momentum is great on that. And they have all of Yasnaya to loot up, and they have plenty of time. Circle's not even coming in yet, I don't think so. Yeah, they have plenty of time to rotate in, which is great. Crazy there, though. You just see FPP, the difference with Tokyo had no idea going to the roof there, Stento, that Ranger was just sitting there waiting with the hard peek, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I love the confidence. And quick check in on the care package. No MG3 for Quavo here, but he does get some fresh 3 armor. Gonna roll back to the squad. He does have a BH member pretty close, so perhaps escaping an early death there just marginally. Lots of teams starting to rotate in here. I'm checking out the 187Zs getting really close to the 7 Kings here, and they're actually, this is a great spot to be. I love the aerial view as well. The 7 Kings are pulling up, and they don't really realize that some of the 187Zs are already here, but they've got some good spread amongst themselves here. Now Legend plays a pretty big role here with Savage on his side. Unfortunately, Swaggin, Savage go down really quick here from Tacticals and Link. Legend's doing all he can to try to even the stakes here. He's going to need to go prone for a heal off.
Yeah, this is just a tidal wave of the Seven Kings coming over. Mistake, I think, kind of made a mistake by not getting that kill on Quavo when he pulled up in the buggy. The initial knock kind of really slowed down Seven Kings, and they came in so strong there over that ridge. That was pretty powerful first or second elimination for the Seven Kings.
Yeah, you can't miss your shots on the Seven Kings like that because you don't get a lot of opportunities. They're not going to put themselves in the open very often like that. Quick hop out of the buggy there in one of the 187s. He's going to be kicking themselves, I think, for not dropping Quavo as he pulled up. And the rest of the squad was there. They had the opportunity, but the timing just slightly off for them. So unfortunate. PI rolling into the area here.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams kind of in the Chopsticks area. BH Salad trying to push them off. Might kind of get them away. Actually, they're leaving the area. They're getting caught in between BH though, because the rest of BH is actually shooting from Gatka here. This car's about to explode right below Shadow, and Notorious doesn't get out in time. Stento, that's kind of a big misplay as well. Now PI doesn't really know what to do. I don't know if Governor spun out, but he's going to go down from Salad as well. They kind of just drove through a kill box there, Stento. They would have been better off maybe crashing an area. That's kind of a tough way to drive through on that side.
Yeah, I mean, you're going through the center of zone and you know, I don't know. They could have taken some of the chopsticks. They had a couple of spots they could have tried to take, and just kind of full sending it a little too far. You know, on those rotations, you're going to pay for that in the lobby with this much talent. You know.
Yeah, it's something that, you know, if you guys are watching, we talk about this all the time. I like to mention it because a lot of us are casual players. Some people play ranked. This is just the next level of play. And if you're not, you know, I'm saying they're not used to it, but sometimes you're not in the right brain space about how, you know, split people will be defending different compounds. But it's always tough to know, though, especially in FPP when you're driving, right, Stento? It's just, you don't know where people are going to be. The visibility is just so much more difficult. Especially when people like Salad are on the roof here. It's so hard to know.
Yeah, he seems to got a drop on main gaming. It looks like pulled up on the south side, taking some of those complexes. Unfortunate, one of the members of AE taking down Muerte. So
look at this.
We're on board with the toxic.
Looks like she's crashing this compound, and Cerny's coming down. I thought TLL was also going to crash at the same time, but they're going to take the chopstick. Okay, I thought here for a second that there was a bigger scene going on here, but it looks like TLL bounced off, so we won't see any fragging out here.
Yeah, TLL are in a decent spot. Only thing they need to remember, they just landed there, so they're not going to have any vehicles to rotate out of there. So hopefully for some good zones pulling their direction. Otherwise, they're going to have a tough rotation. They've got Seven Kings on the north side, main gaming on the south side, and people starting to kind of compress into this Pochinki, Ruins, Gatka kind of circle here in the center of this side of the zone. And just a little bit before we're going to see our phase 2, but lots of teams have already kind of got a good spot right now.
Yeah, like what main gaming is doing here, holding chopsticks in the compound below it. It's a good split, not too far away. Pretty easy to respond to any action here. FNX is already taking the tunnel underneath, which is nice. He's going to get a good kind of sight line on TLL. Since they're just off the positioning here, any teams that we're looking out for to maybe make a big play for this game, and BH is in a good spot. TXC, Toxic, off on this mountain to the right. Trying to look for a potential underdog for a pick for the game 1 here as Circle closes up.
Blitz, want to do me a favor and pop up as soon as this shift. We're heading over to Gatka as our new center. I'm curious about our leaderboard real quick. I want to just talk about a couple of the teams that are on the outside. Again, looking in teams like Phase 9, Bloodhounds, Torch, even main gaming and the likes of Shooter's Instinct, So Strong, Enrico's Roughnecks, even a couple more. They're still in the battle here. They have a lot of work to do, but 40, 50 points in the matter of 10 games can be made up pretty quickly. So again, lots of teams still in the mix here. Top 9 are going to move on to the finals here. So we'll have to keep a good eye, perhaps on the Bloodhounds right now. That's the team I've been seeing the most of so far, and they're really in a really good spot so far. Already picked up a couple kills just south of Gatka.
Yeah, and they're in 11th place, as you mentioned. 187Z, we saw them get eliminated early. They're in, I think, 18th place, and it's crazy because they've played so well. They can fight with anybody on the battlegrounds, but they just don't seem to keep it together there. And then, you know, obviously ran into a great team to start off. We're in a
On
shooter's
board with
instinct.
Shooter's Instinct here, one of those teams that needs to have a strong day-to-day to get themselves into that top 9 conversation. Starting to take some shots from AFI, and they're actually going to lose Panda out of one of their cars. Zelodi picking up a nice kill for AFI, one of our top teams, putting another kill on the board there. Just to show you again, people trying to bite off a little more than they can chew with some of these early phase 1, phase 2 rotations. And AFI just got a ridiculous split here, leaving some of their members up on the Mount Everest here. So they've really got a lot of information on these other teams starting to rotate through.
This is a pretty nice split and just good for information collection. Obviously, AFI, one of the top teams, you know, they're going to be doing some crazy information collection and tracking who's getting knocked and who's already taken which compound. Another care package coming down in this area. We saw Quavo decline in MG3, so that care package is actually right near Muerta. I don't know if anybody else ever grabbed it. It was an interesting choice earlier from Quavo to skip that. I get it though. If you're gonna skip any weapon in the crates, I think the MG3 or the P90 would be the two that people would skip. I mean, I like them both personally, but I understand why people would skip them.
I feel like you gotta have like one MG3 player on every team, right? Like, yeah, that gun, you can't really peek people with it. You know, you can't use it much as your long range gun at this level. You're just gonna get smoked by DMRs mainly and some snipers. But what that gun can do to cars going back by or teams kind of caught on edge, if you are able to go prone and just kind of let it rip. I'm a big fan of the MG3. We saw it put to use earlier today by one of our top players in EU. QDex put it to work on Miramar. So I love when people grab that, especially if you're able to use it on 990. It's just devastating. So lots of players will leave it, man. It's just a weird gun, but again, it can do stuff other guns can if you do know how to use it, if you do take the risk to pick it up.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I think the LMG play is huge. Even the SMG play, having the P90, it's always good to have a player in your team who will kind of be the person sitting under another team or the first one to go into a building. That's when you want somebody to have the P90 or the Vector. I say this all the time. Most of the fights in comp play are either very close or kind of pretty far away with the DMRs. That's where you see so much of the shooting in this game is kind of at that range. So sometimes it works. I mean, I know Acerburn famously always was running a Vector. I don't know if she does anymore as much. We can kind of tune into MG, especially after this circle shift. They have a good bottom side of the zone. They like to play edge. They're going to have edge. CK going in for a nice rotation onto this small compound, which I love to take. It's just such a fortress here in the middle of the field. The only thing you have to worry about is your vehicle tires, but they're kind of doing a good job parking here. Also, Stento, I'm looking at Toxic that might be coming in on main gaming. So let's take a look at what they're focused on right now.
Looks like the Dub Hub crashing into this ditch as well. So now FNX in a very interesting spot. He's the only one over here for main gaming. The rest of the squad a little bit further to the south. FNX in a really rough spot here. He's actually hopped out and is going to try to run back to the buildings. He might be able to escape this if he gets in quickly. Oh, wow. Just in a split second he was going to get knocked. Started to take some shots in the back here. And now the rest of main game, he's going to need to show up here. As you mentioned, Toxic is to the south as well. Lots of teams in this area between the Lady Lasers, the Dub Hub, and main gaming now, and like, again, several other teams. And Toxic's dropping in.
They split up. So two are in the car. Two took the parachute, Stento. Two members of Toxic just took the compound north of main gaming. And the other two were on the road. And it looks like Toxic's going to kind of leapfrog main gaming and get this spot, which was once kind of split here. I think the Bloodhound gang had one. I always call them the Bloodhound gang, by the way. They're just the Bloodhounds. But I always just say that for fun. But the Bloodhounds had a member over here and then sent him back. Triple OG getting a knock on Warhawk. So they're shooting all over the place here. Warhawk, they're a little bit away, shooting over TLL. I'm wondering if TLL is going to make some kind of push here off that. They have one
Yeah,
knock, so I guess they're probably slowed by that. Looks like
yeah,
they were
Seven
thinking
Kings
about it.
getting a little aggressive over the top here. They did get a knock onto team 2 there, but they paid for it. TXC from long range dropped Warhawk, so they're kind of stopped in their tracks here. The third parties are going to really prevent them from making too much of a push. And what's interesting now is the Dub Hub is taking the other part of Chopsticks. I think they're kind of calling their way around they might have located TLL, and now just kind of spreading out right now. This is a very interesting zone, still centering up on Gatka here, and lots of people in this area, excuse me, everyone in this area has got to move in the next 45 seconds or so.
Yeah, and P9 just showed up below main gaming. P9 is in 10th place. They're 7 points behind the Dub Hub, who's in 9th place. That's the last spot that will make it into the finals or into the playoffs and then into the finals. So Phase 9 has a lot. Every point here is important for Phase 9. Looks like they're going to
rotating around
safely here. Polaris not really getting any shots there. Main Gaming honestly needs to focus on what they're going to do right now, personally.
Yeah, last circle or so wasn't really kind for anyone in this area, and all of the hardcover basically in zone has been snagged up now. So lots of teams on this east side, southeast side, just kind of stuck at this point.
Oh no, this is when you don't want to take a knock here. This is going to give Dub Hub an opportunity to push. FNX is playing the biggest kind of role now for the Dub Hub. Going to get on the car. Such a good move to get on a car to get over a wall like this. And maybe get a different angle because most people are kind of getting ready for to aim at the open spots in the wall. Dub Hub not leaving yet though. The zone is moving in. MG's got a couple vehicles. You would imagine that they would have maybe gotten the car and just left before that knock.
Yeah, other teams starting to rotate right now. Keeping my eye on the Seven Kings. They're kind of wrapping through several teams right now, trying to go to like the northwest side of zone. They're gonna probably take some shots here.
Very messy rotation for the Seven Kings.
Yeah, so a knock onto to SI right now from the Seven Kings on a big rotation right now.
So TLL just knocked one of the Dub Hub members. Looks like they might just push up on Chopsticks here. I was hanging around because I thought we would see a battle between Dub Hub and Main Gaming, but it seems like Dub Hub is kind of bailing on this, and now Main Gaming is leaving. I'm going to go over to our first place team because they're out in the field here by themselves, and they're pushing SI. We're kind of seeing a little bit of a slow situation on the east side of the zone. Tacticals here, just about to push the last member potentially of SI, who has an MK. Almost goes down, but survives that. RMV also just crashed AE. We're going to tap into AE right now. They are currently in 19th place.
Yeah, we got a knock on each side, so it's down to a 3v3. RMV working their way off of the high side mountain into this compound where where AE have kind of already spread here. And
RMV stuck in the zone.
Much better position here. DD picking up 2 knocks. It's just one more member. Dreams up on the hill. In Ascension Esports doing a really good job of holding strong versus a good RMV team here. Again, it's just one member. Dreams in the blue here as DD and the rest of AE kind of looking to figure out where that member is. Can they get this res off onto Italian?
And there you go. So that's pretty big
well
because
AE
is in 19th. Results may vary in 17th, so they needed those points and kind of slowing down RMV. I'm going to quickly, sorry for flipping over, but we're catching Main Game. Looks like they had maybe an unsuccessful crash here. P9 is here to go in the smoke. They're surrounding MG. Acid Burn coming out of the side. He's going to get shot in the back here. Too much for MG, and they are eliminated in 11th place. Just a little too slow to rotate there, I think, Stento. They had some time earlier, and P9 kind of beat them to this area, but they're still in a tough spot because they're in the middle of this field. And Boatman's here.
In the meantime, sorry, Blitz, I just wanted to point out, Boatman right now causing problems for the rest of P9. He's got 2. A third party's actually going to take him down, preventing the triple kill. So he's going to need a little bit of help from the rest of the squad. Smokes need to come out. The only threat from close range is one more member for P9. Boat again got knocked from a third party here. So Onyx doing all he can to revive his toxic team member. And maybe this is a good time to hop into their comp splits. People have been talking about more Astro A40 listen-ins. TXC is one of our teams. Let's hop in there and see what's going on.
All right, give me 1 sec. We'll hop on in there with TXC. We'll be right back.
Nice, good shit.
Cars rolling.
I'm putting smokes out real quick. No.
Call, bro.
Been shot from both sides, bro.
Yeah.
Literally. I don't know.
The car's good. Bring it in, bro, and put it on.
Might be able to play this right here in yellow.
Hide it behind a bush.
There's no good bushes to hide it behind.
All right, well then just stack the cars up and protect one. We're gonna have to peek CK.
Yeah, for sure. Instant resing.
One pet.
You're the only one peeking right now.
He's one shot.
Gotcha.
Shooting you under the car.
Yeah, bro. So they're just standing
I
on the
have
fucking
smoke.
roof.
Yeah, no.
I'm out of smoke.
Wait, bro.
Yeah.
Just wait,
They're
bro.
shot-
Peek,
they're
look,
shooting us
yeah,
from
just
far,
look,
so
we'll
it's
peek
good.
this, bro. We'll peek this kid together on the roof, and we'll knock him and flush him, bro. He's flushable. Here, take a first aid. It's my last one. You ready?
You got down.
I'm gonna finish these
Got down.
bandages real
Oh,
quick.
I'll wait.
He got off.
Now I'm getting MK'd from blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Ooh, late
blues
play.
are
We go
sitting
back,
on me
right?
too.
Like the hay
People
bills.
shooting.
I mean, it ain't good, but
Can we go over here? Is our car still good or no?
No.
I think so.
Did I?
He's hopping
Oh,
on the
no.
roof right now.
I'm gonna start crawling. I got 20 seconds.
All right, we're back with Stento because TXC is going to go for a crawl play. Meanwhile, we missed some PI fighting with Seven Kings. I don't know how they end up, Stento, always having 4 up in so many of the games after they get attacked by so many different people and have these crazy rotations. It doesn't make sense, like they have some kind of crazy armor on them or something. But TXC there, just trying to get the comms down, figure out what they're going to do. They're still staying kind of calm and just decided that they need to crawl out of there. That's their only option because there's just no cover and they're running out of smokes. And meanwhile, if we take a look at the map, Zone is moving in here. TXC is actually kind of safe on the bottom of the map. There's 3 teams in Gaka.
Yeah, in the midst of all of that, while we were watching TXC, the toxic lady lasers worked their way out of the chopsticks area. We were watching them for a long time. They actually killed the dub hub in the chopstick area and got 3 of the lady lasers out of here. Right now, we're on board with the Seven Kings trying to rotate right now. They're going to lose Warhawk. The rest of the squad might be all in this one car here, so they're going to have to cut and run on Warhawk. That's like his second or third knock, as you can see. And now we've officially got 4 teams in here, Blitz.
Exactly. Now is the time. I'll get into an aerial view so we can kind of see everybo's locked in on that back row.
Yeah, trades were going out here. I think Jams just put one of the Seven Kings members down as she had to go back for Lex. So kind of trades going out here between the Seven Kings and the Toxic Lady Lasers. Still a full 4-man of Ascension Esports in this compound and a solo from AFI. So there's just so much going on here. All eyes kind of on Seven Kings right now. They all crashed this one building on the edge. And they got smokes right now for their push. So lots of eyes are going to be in this direction right now. Tacticals, Quavo.
Look at
and
this smoke
Linkadox
wall,
working their
perfectly
way.
set to the other building. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's just crazy smoke wall.
No, I love Tack has got the red dot on his MK right now. I think he's going to kind of lead the way into this building. Although they aren't really forced into this building. On your screen, you're seeing the solo for Torch built out in 7th place.
And look at these stuns. They're stunning in. So smart here, playing literally like a SWAT team. They're literally stunning each room as they go. And now I think they might have kind of exhausted a lot of their utils. But no, here we go. We're seeing another stun from Quavo. No, this is a nade fragging out this area. Now they're going to make their way up. Catch the first member. Now they know the rest are going to be upstairs. At least someone else is up here. Quavo with a decisive knock there. And the team just takes out the Toxic Lady Lasers so quickly. And we just finally get to see how they maneuver there, and it's just that methodical gameplay that keeps them alive.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice push onto that building. Unfortunate for the Lady Lasers, couldn't really hold with the staircase and the kind of just the angles that Seven Kings took there. But in the meantime, we're seeing CK pick up some kills on the kill feed onto TXC, as now still Gatka's a pretty hot area with 3 of the 7 Kings. A full 4-man for AE, and AFI still has a solo in there. 5 total teams remain, Blitz, 12 players as we approach the 27-minute mark here. Still a solo for TXC. Boatman hanging out on the edge of zone here, but most of the action is going to be Gatka slowly working their way out of that city down into the south here. So
Sento, one thing I want to mention is that we always talk about when teams are bunched up in a city like this and the circle's going to leave, almost everybody here dies. But the 7 Kings being the best team in NA right now, I'm really curious. I want to stay on board and see how they handle this. Will they succumb to the same kind of issue? I think they found a rat in this building, Stento. Potentially here.
They didn't realize he was in there. Quavo's actually gonna take him down against a Lodi with a decent rat situation. I think it was a nade from the other team, and he just kind of poked out and thirsted it, and then they were like, what?
Yeah, perfect timing there. And I love the PUBG Battlegrounds on the helmet here from the knocked body. But oh, terrible molly coming in, terrible time there, right on to Quavo. He's gonna survive. Nope, but he goes down. I thought he was going to live with one health there.
In the meantime, has knocked 2 of the AE members, so it's all down to Link here. He's got 2 more members to go through, Italian and Kathy, trying to figure out exactly how to deal with this man. He's going to go for a res here, actually. I like the play. Getting Quavo up is a monumental play. So he has a little bit of time on the edge here, 5 seconds until this touches up. They're actually going to have plenty of real estate to work with there, maybe considering going in the building over the balcony there. Yeah, they're going to take a little bit of hard cover, and they're okay for now. Kathy is pushing in. He doesn't know Linkadox is already inside the building. The rest of the team is still kind of repairing, healing up, reviving one another. And now a nade has come in from CK, who has pushed in on the south side. They said we're not going to sit here and land mini Gatka and play edge. We're going to put in and try to get some of these kills. A couple of broken teams waiting for them here, Blitz. So this is a really good timed push from the console killers.
Yeah, CK got way more aggressive than I thought. I mean, obviously they could push up here, but they literally pushed up in all the way into Gatka.
Oh, they cleaned up Boatman, who was the final solo on the south side of zone here. So they kind of realized that this is where the final remaining teams are. So a really good job of them to kind of get up here as quick as they did after cleaning that solo out. And again, these are just 2 broken teams in here now. A solo for AE. Got to go down to that nade from Ranger Jr. And 7 Kings has found their way into the top 2 teams here. CK, another one of our top teams, putting up a big round in match 1 so far. 14 kills for the 7 Kings. 9 kills, I believe, 4 console killers right now. Everyone wants the extra chicken dinner bonus points right now. It's going to be big.
Quavo through the window. That's
unbelievable
1
shot.
Now it's a 2v2, Stento, just like that. How did that happen? It's now a 2v2. Final 2 teams, 7 Kings. They are the ones to make it out of the building. Somehow they were able to do it. Pixel goes down to the zone. So we have a confirmed 2v2. Look how many smokes are here, Stento. We can't see anything, but I don't want to leave Linkadox and Quavo because we're on board with them. See if they can make this happen. Ranger Jr. behind that tree. Turbot from the backside with DMR support.
Yeah, the angles from CK are crucial right now. Just don't take a knock. And Turbot and Ranger Jr. have such crucial pinch angles on these 2 guys. The smokes are starting to run thin, Blitz. Someone's gonna need to get a knock for 7 Kings here, or the console killers are just gonna have 2 deadly of angles. Nades are going out from both sides, and Quavo takes down Ranger Jr. with a frag.
Linkadox is pushing to that smoke, and I think they said nade in front of me, and I'm gonna push it. Ranger just didn't move enough, Stento. They knew where he was, and now it's a 2v1 against Turbot, and he's on a rock, so they're going to be able to kind of surround him here in an FPP. He's not going to have the visibility to know where they're going to. Shots are coming out. He's down to 1 shot. Now there's blood in the water, Stento.
7 Kings doing an amazing job to get out of Gatka and somehow get the upper hand on CK, who had a 3-man kind of summon the farm field, 1 person in the building, and 7 Kings just doesn't matter. They've got ripped up armor here. Turbot has been a force of nature all tournament, so both teams playing it a little bit cautious here. They both want the 10 points, as we just mentioned. Turbot working his way off the rock a little bit with some smoke. It's only a matter of time before Quavo and the rest of the 17 get an angle. Turbot says it doesn't matter. Drops Quavo really quickly. Now it's up to Link. Turbot's down to about 1 health too. He's going to get a heal off in the smoke right now.
Laying
Unbelievable
down.
plays
It's gonna be
by
so
these
hard
players.
to see him.
Linkadox really trying to play it slow and use the long grass to kind of catch him off guard here. Turbot pushes through and thirsts Quavo, so no comms are coming out from the downed Seven Kings member. Now it's an old-fashioned mono-e-mono situation. Who's gonna win? Wow, I thought Turbot had him.
Linkadox
but
with 1
ends up
health.
on top.
1
He has
health
1
from
HP.
Linkadox. That's insane. It looked like Turbot had that, and somehow
I think he was
Linkadox
down
stays
to-
alive.
Oh my gosh. What a display from the Seven Kings there. 17 kills and the chicken dinner. The rich get richer in our first game so far here, Blitz. Amazing game as well from the console killers. Almost a very impressive 2v1 from Turbot, but they're going to pick up 10 kills in the second place. And rounding out the top 3 in match 1 is Ascension Esports with 9 kills as well.
Very good game there. I'm going to say hello to everybody. Looks like my camera might be off a little bit. We'll see if I can get it on to say hello to everybody. But what a what's up, everybody? What a crazy ending there. I can't wait to see the chat go absolutely wild at the end of that match. And I'm trying to just analyze, how does the Seven Kings make it out of there? And I think it's just off of straight utility Stento.
I need a sip of beer, man.
After those knocks, they got so many smokes that it was insane. We were just spectating a sea of smokes. And it's the only way you can leave a building like that in the end game is in that situation. But do you think that CK went too much? You were excited. I was a little nervous that they went overboard right there. And, I think that it might have been too much. I'm not sure.
It's just insane solo gameplay from so many different people in that match. And a Gatka farm field circle is so difficult because there's Gatka and mini Gatka in a couple spots that are hard cover until the end. And then people are kind of just forced to crash Gatka, forced in off of really awkward edges. And, we saw some insane play from the Seven Kings to kind of wrap all the way to the north side and kind of make that where they worked down. But yeah, that's, we talk about them a lot, but they earned it that first game with 17 kills in the dub, man. They really do deserve to be spoken about after that first game performance.
Yeah.
My camera acting all funky for you or no? Just on my end?
Keeps popping in and out, but sometimes does it off the bat, but we'll see. Hopefully it gets resolved. But yeah, it keeps kind of pixelating you there for a little bit, but we've seen enough of you, Stento. We've seen enough of you, dude.
True. That's true. Well, that's just match 1 for the night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with the second lobby back on our angle in just a few minutes.
Yeah, GG's everybody. What a game 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the $5,000 main gaming NA versus EU showdown. We are in our final week of qualifiers right now, and we are spectating the North American teams. Tonight, we have Group A squaring off versus Group B. And for those of you who haven't been with us for the duration of the tournament, we just want to give you a quick little introduction of how everything is going here. So for our prize pool, the regular season is going to be broken down into $1,000, $500 for each region, as you can see here, North America and Europe. Top four will be taking home a little extra bonus in addition to qualifying. And then as we move over to our finals, $4,000 going to the top 5 teams. And this will be when we actually combined 9 North American teams versus 8 EU teams. And the top teams will be taking home that prize pool right there. As always, we'll take a quick look at our map rotation. 5 maps per night, 2 Erangels, 2 Miramars, and then back on Erangel for one more time. And now we'll take a quick look at our scoreboard. You were peeking at it during the intermission. But just a couple things we want to talk about here. Several teams outside of the top 9. Once again, the top 9 from this scoreboard are going to be moving on to the finals, which are this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We will be pitting the top NA versus EU teams here. And once again, several teams on the outside looking in is probably where the most important part of the scoreboard is really going to start to heat up here. We have several teams on the top. 7 Kings, Vigorous, Affinity, Console Killers, and a couple more already really establishing themselves, for lack of better words, potentially locking their spots into the finals already. But just a couple more stats we want to bring through to you guys, and I'll pass it over to Blitz for those.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some kill and damage statistics, which is a really fun part of kind of checking out the tournament. So many people have been fragging out here, including Kidzo, who's in the first spot, and then Warhawk, 2 members of 7 Kings, right behind Kidzo, then Quavo right there as well. Tony from ABN, last week we saw him put up some crazy numbers, and I think he got 11 or 12 kills in one game alone, which was absolutely insane. And then Prodigy there rounding out the end of the top 5 for kills. And then for damage, we're going to see a lot of similar names here, because obviously if you're getting those kind of kills, you're going to be getting a lot of damage. But check out Prodigy go from all the way 5th place to 1st place in damage, because he's a big DMR guy, just ripping those shots across the map. Kidzo in 2nd, Hobie in 3rd, Warhawk in 4th, and Pixel from CK in 5th. Then we have this awesome kind of head-to-head battle here, and I think Crazy Mob and Abnormal going into that game were very close together. They're in 5th and 6th place. So Abnormal's in 5th, Crazy Mob is in 6th place. And you can see they're so close in their total kills, average placements, and average points. Average points are tied. Placements just one off with Abnormal, one ahead, and they're just one total kill ahead. But then look at the total damage from Abnormal. They have about 3,000, 3,600, 3,500 more damage there. If my quick math is right, it might be a little off there. But the damage just a lot bigger. So Abnormal really putting down those shots. And then we have our last statistic here. This is our NA MVP so far, and this is Warhawk with 88 points. And you can see right now he's big on the survivor, teammate, and utility section, which is a great score for NA. But we've seen some monster scores in EU as well. And we are flying in for game 2 on Erangel. Perfect timing here as the plane path goes across the military base all the way to ending at Comiskey. So this is a pretty eastern flight path. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is the NA versus EU showdown brought to you by Main Gaming. And we are spectating tonight NA teams play Group A versus Group B. Again, I'm Blitz5. We're hosting this currently on my channel, Blitz5 and Friends. Thank you guys for being here. And I'm co-casting with my buddy Stento. What's up, man? Thank you for the intro.
Oh yeah, man. Excited for match 2 of the evening. Once again, if you're just joining us here, I'm watching my camera, which was really messed up. I believe we have reset the whole camera feed, and hopefully that will be fixed by our next post-match little recap there. But very interesting plane path here. We are almost definitely going to see a circle on the bottom right side of the map somewhere. Maybe it can leach out towards the center of the map. But there you go. Heading down to military base. Couple of teams going to be really happy with their drops here. Main Gaming is one of them. The Bloodhounds and AFI, also teams that like to kind of play that bridge area blitz. So we'll keep an eye on several teams here that are going to start their rotation. Main Gaming definitely one of those teams that need to get a little bit of momentum going for themselves. They're about 40 to 50 points out. They're hand in hand with like 4 or 5 teams that are within a couple successful games of jumping right into the top 9. So a bunch of teams again on the outside looking in that we'll keep an eye on here. And a little bit of a hot drop going on in Kameshki Blitz. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so 2 teams ended up dropping Kamishka. I mean, what are the odds here? And of course, AE is nearby as well. And they just looked at the map and said, bruh, we are the farthest distance away from the circle possible. And something I saw that was interesting off the bat was that 7 Kings normally were dropping military base, and looks like they've taken over Pachinki and now Main Gaming going for the hot drop. I wonder if that was a kind of a plan from looking at some VODs for Main Gaming to get aggressive, or if they've just seen, because I think 7 Kings kind of occasionally do go to Pachinki, so I wonder how much thought is going into that, or if it's just kind of their new drop for now.
Yeah, very interesting. And it looks like BH working their way into some of the real estate that you might have wanted to see Main Gaming move into now. But that's a very good play from BH. Another one of those teams that's, I think, like 10th or something. So we'll keep a close eye on both of these squads that are at military base right now. But so many squads dropped on the main island, very far to the northeast. So we'll keep a close eye on these rotations. It's very possible that we see some emergency airlifts and some boat rotations, maybe a ferry or 2 blitz. But this is always a fun circle for us casters and us spectators to watch. Just tons of teams try to find their way to zone here. So keep a close eye on your map, everybody. We'll be keeping we'll be on board with several teams rotating.
Absolutely. I feel like the military base is one of the most iconic circles of all time for Aaron Gall. It's just, people know that part of the map, I feel like, so well. It's kind of in like an oval shape, so it just works perfectly with the zone, with the military base right in the center there. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Right now, we're kind of watching RMV, Solus, Overwatch. They know TLL is here. They got a long way to go, though, so that maybe the team's looking for a lift. You have to imagine one of these teams, TLL, AE, or RMV, are praying for an emergency pickup to be found so they don't have to deal with commuting all the way into the zone.
Yeah, it's a great point. This again, I just can't get. I'm so happy we got a military base zone. I'm sitting here like just smiling right now. But really, only a couple places that really had multiple people dropping the RMV TLL drop here in Dub Hub versus 187Zs, which we've gotten accustomed to over the course of this tournament right now. But we're where the action is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Just a bit of a early game loot and lull here. Crazy getting a knock onto Brands and Dreams there to trade that out here. So some instant revives going off here. Unfortunate Crazy is not quite as close to the rest of her team as Brands was to his team. So I think RMV are going to be able to regroup a little bit quicker here. And let's see what the Toxic Lady Lasers have to say about this. Dreams is already on a pretty drastic flank out here, trying to get to the outside and see what he can see from kind of the coast almost. He has picked up another one of the Lady Lasers. It's actually Solus that's going to put Cerny down. So now RMV probably swinging the door wide open here, going to push hard onto this. Almost another knock there out of Dreams, and they just got multiple ARs. We're still early game loot here, and unfortunate for TLL here, RMV were able to regroup off that first knock a little bit quicker, and now it's just one member left, I believe. There's that back there. That Jam's going down up to RMV. A very good start for them, picking up 4 quick kills.
Yeah, it was Southern, the last one, kind of stuck in these walls. I thought RMV was going to lose a member there potentially, but yeah, they hit some good shots. Dreams came in with a nice early knock. That caused some problems. And right now, we're actually seeing MG grouping up on the Bloodhounds. They have one knocked on Bloodhounds. They have them surrounded in this garage building. FNX coming from the top. Polaris heading over here. Ernster was there by himself. Ernster getting another knock, putting the team on his back right now. Let's see how they maneuver this. Are they going to stack the building or try to get some interesting sight lines from using the hill? I think they blocked the door there with that car potentially, Stento, so Ernster can't get in that way. Acid Burn finds that angle from the backside. I think it's just 1 left, 2 left for Bloodhounds. We're going to go into their view and see how they're going to survive this. Ernster's going up by himself. Risky from Ernster to go in, but then the response is there.
Polaris is there for the trade. It's only one member left for BH here. Acid Burn caught Shadow as he jumped out. Ernster ran up the stairs. Was lucky that Polaris was there, and they're actually going to catch Muerte trying to jump out of the garage and come in the front side there. So a nice push by Main Gaming. We were just talking about how BH kind of took some real estate that we expected them to maybe push into, but a very nice push there led by Ernster, who might have gotten a little bit over cocky there, but was lucky that Polaris was there for the stack and trade out. So a nice clean win there. They're going to get all members back up, and then 4 very important points there for Main Gaming. Switching over to the other side here, TXC. Very popular team here, usually led by Boatman, often using the Bolty. A little bit of a roster rearrangement. I do see them with some familiar players, Onyx and Triple OG. So it's good to see these guys out here again. They're in the top 8 already, but they've been sliding a little bit. I should say top 9 for NA, but they have been sliding. They started out really strong. Once again, led by some impressive solo performances kind of from Boatman, but have kind of plateaued a little bit. They're just hanging on to a top 9 spot right now, and this is just a team that can explode at any moment in time, especially when they get some heavy care package artillery. So keep a close eye on those guys. They're in a very good spot early on, and they're actually going to defer that gun to the Boatman himself. I think that's something that they often do. They'll let him have the heavy artillery for that squad. But if you do take a quick look at your map, Blitz, several teams have found their way onto the island. Torch NA over by Novo. We have Eno and P9 in the water to the east side of Novo. The 187Zs have moved into the south side of the island. The Dub Hub found the west side of the island. 2 teams about to clash on the mainland. SI and AE in a little bit of a rotation here. And waiting for them on the bridge is AFI very comfortably. So lots to keep track of here. And it's actually Laser with the SKS taking Kathy out of the car. AE had a very good game 1. And I'm curious where AE is on the leaderboard, because we've been talking about them a lot. But I'm not sure that they're in the top 9 right now.
Yeah, AE has kind of fallen down. They're in 14th place, but apparently they moved up 5 places after the last match, Sento. So they were in 19th place, and this is not going to help that kind of comeback from them. I know they're a really strong team with good players, but I feel like, yeah, maybe late rotations are just costing them a little bit. So maybe they'll consider moving a little bit earlier here, because they just lost a few members, and now they're actually out of zone. Some kind of retaliation shots from pretty far away, though, but they're backed up so far there. SI, I guess, is just going to be hanging out here. Wasn't too much of a bridge block going on here. CK's coming in on a parachute below the Dub Hub. Looks like Dub Hub might be going up to Grandma's house, maybe doing a split. 2 members are going up there. CK is actually kind of landing there right now, Stento.
Yeah, they need to be careful. They need to make sure they've got that whole plan B up their sleeve here, because if you aren't dropping together, we've seen so many teams pay for it in there.
But Pixel's on a great split here, though. This is actually pretty good for Pixel.
It could work out in their favor, yep.
He just caught kind of Dub Hub from the side here. Let's see if he can get a good angle. Finally spotted Albos, but he's in the dip. He knows where they're at, though. Sees Brody making a bigger push, getting good shots. That's actually pushing Brody away, which is exactly what CK needs. But then exactly what couldn't happen there was the Albos knock on the Pixel.
Yeah, that was their angle, you know. And that's a solo here. Actually, CK quickly pushing
Bizarre with a double kill, though.
Led by Bizarre.
That was a perfect time, though. That's how you have to play so smart. As soon as you see your teammate get knocked, you know they're kind of questioning how many people are over there. And then you got to push when they're kind of thinking for a second, not ready for that attack. And now they need to continue being aggressive if they can find Brody and Wabaku to finish this fight. See if they send a member to get that revive. I'm not sure if they will. Ranger gets the flush. Pixel just hanging out there. He's probably letting them know through good, hopefully some good comms that Brody was over on the other side of the hill. I think they should send one over now. I think Bizarre is heading that way.
It's possible they might be able to get Pixel up here. I am seeing, a big fight break out between RMV and MG. Not sure exactly what happened. It looks like MG were trying to extend a little bit here. Perhaps pulling up a little too close onto RMV. Solus waiting for Acid Burn there. The rest of the squad's just going to full send this, try and get these kills. I do like the full send at this point. It was a little bit of a disjointed push, I'm afraid, trying to push onto a knock perhaps there. Ernster's not really able to spot anyone from this angle. And did FNX
Wow,
pull up
187Z
as
from
well?
across the way. Just got a re-knock on RMV, so this is making Ernster second guess his approach. Just saw someone on the stairs. Can he get a knock? Nothing's going to come through. He hit the iron gates there. Nice flank from the side, though. Ernster is playing very well right now. He's going to get the double kill. One last remaining member for RMV. Ernster's only got one kill for his name, but it feels like he did so much work on that initial push in the previous fight. Now he's got two if he can get this last one.
Is FNX here? FNX is here. Finally pushes in the other side. So a bummer for them to lose two members on that push, but they do pick up 7 total kills for the round, and they're going to regroup here. It looks like 7 Kings in a little bit of a scrap of their own. I didn't see what happened here. Maybe a hard crash from the dub hub. Maybe just sending one down there. The dub hub were just one member. There you go. So dub hub going out in 13th, trying to crash the 7 Kings, who are just 3 deep. I'm not sure where their 4th member went, but
yeah, sorry, we're just flipping from place to place, but there's so much fighting going on. We'll kind of regroup after this fight and see where everybody's ending up. But Eno right now hitting his smokes, kind of doing a little bit of painting here with the orange one. The nade hits the bike, sends him backwards a little bit there, Stento. But he's off on a bike. We haven't seen this play, I don't think, in the showdown so far. Running away from the bullies after school on his bike.
Yeah, that's a real Forrest Gump situation right there. He's gone.
That was actually hilarious. I don't think I've seen the bike play yet, but I wanted to point out something that 7 Kings moved down. They always take this spot. So 7 Kings actually landed here on a pickup. If you notice, anytime the circle's in this area, they like to take this compound. And I think because they can kind of maneuver any which way out of it to take these hills, but they always play and usually split these two buildings. But they came down to this section here, so I wonder if they're going to try to skirmish with AFI or how they'll kind of rotate out of here, because now they're on the south side of this zone. AFI actually has a pretty good split to the other side as well. Linkadox is actually starting that move, switching sides there a little closer to AFI.
Again, you can see AFI kind of removing their 2-2 split. They're going to group up on Crates Hill, I like to call that right there. Pretty good spot. Those buildings down below them that they left are now fully vacant. They're going to be a good spot for someone to try to push into eventually.
Yeah, this spot is great, but it's also sometimes you can get pushed from multiple angles at one time. You just can't cover enough of that. Toxic's already kind of putting in some shots from the back side. Wanted to flip over to them, but we just had a little bit of a weird spectate thing. I wanted to see Toxic their view. Hey, if I sending the members back down, Stento, you just kind of called it. You're like, someone could fill over there.
I was about to be like, oh, Blitz, someone's crashing that spot, but it's just AFI sending it back aggressively. I love that. I'm not sure what's really going on there, but
they decided
to keep a little bit of it. They're just full sending that rather than playing the hill, which is kind of tough to hold up there, especially early game. Yeah, 12 teams still up, so you're going to be getting shot from close and long range on top of that hill. So I think that was a wise play. They can always, when those buildings get circled out, then push up that hill if need be. But right now, someone's picking up a little bit of a pack. Who is that? A little 187Z care package situation? Swag, what do we got?
Yeah, we can't see in spectate because it shows him driving in the M4. Once he stops, we'll be able to check out what kind of goodies they got. They're rotating to the bottom of the zone here. Ooh. It's an MK. Center. So it looks like, military base is kind of 50-50ing this zone right now. PI set up smack dab in the center of the military base along with MG. Again, 187Z, they actually lost the place Stento after last match. They're down to 19th. They only have one kill right now, but they have this care package. What can they do? The zone just went further up north right now. If you're AFI or TXC, you're very happy with this shift, especially if you're TXC. They're going to be looking to gatekeep SI. And then one of the last members of AE Italian is actually coming over the bridge super late in zone right now. Obviously, a lot of heals on the bridge. It's like the perfect place to come in late on zone because you can just rack up those boosts and first aids. Triple OG joining the team. So far, it seems like, again, I'm not sure, but every time we listen in, it seems like Triple OG might be the IGL for the squad. Always kind of giving the most comms there. Could be a good time to tap in and listen on TXC, Stento.
Let's do it.
Let's hop in.
Yeah. I'm watching far right, like through compound. I can't really
seen
like,
anything
get a
in
first look
compound,
peek,
so.
though. I'm playing off your comms. So you know.
Knocked him right here in the middle of the open. Full sprint to the compound.
You can flush it, do it.
Going to.
Heard the
Yeah,
shot. Head peek in 245 for me.
He's in the
Guy
compound.
trying to knock
He's in-
you. Yeah.
I got AFI
compound.
moving, so
Maybe like here.
it's just you guys right
We're gonna
now.
play for that.
Was that flushed or no boat?
No, it wasn't, bro. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be able to get res, to be fair. They
There's
just fully
nothing
died.
behind me. Yeah, he's died.
Knock Bob on ping.
They're full
AE's
dead.
behind them.
Yeah, he's behind them, yeah.
Other side of bridge.
Well done.
About to try to go under right now.
Laser
He's
lob.
going underneath the bridge right now.
Like far
We're still
side or
aliens,
close
so
side
that's all
does?
He's on far side. Coming close
Just
side now.
died.
Never mind. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead.
Is Ali bolted from compound?
Yeah.
He just died.
Yeah.
Go back up and play with Trail. Actually, I think I'm gonna play in between you guys, bro. I'm gonna take height.
Yeah, I was gonna say just do that because I was honestly I was gonna just get here to be. What's good,
There should be
cuz?
3 of them on our side.
What's the word?
Hope
my
he's
boy?
still in the orange.
Yeah, behind us now, TJ. What's good, cuz? How you feeling? 110. Nah, cuz this some
Just
different.
be
this
careful,
some
bro,
real skills.
because they get like kind of have a free
PUBG.
walk up if no one's shooting them in the back.
I just don't know what's low left. I need somebody to replace me.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll come to you.
I can come
It's
on.
alright, I'm by the bike.
Yeah,
You gotta come
one
take
scrap
height
low
where I
left.
All right, Sento, hopping back to you here because we're going to get a lot of action on the top side. They're pretty safe. I mean, sorry, a lot of action on the bottom side. They're safe on the top side, excuse me. Great time to listen in on those comms, though. Taking out SI and AE coming in from behind. It was just perfect timing on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna tell you to get a little bit of an aerial view here. Can we just sit above? There is a full foreman of Torch pushing into a full foreman of PI. CK is also 4 deep here. There's a solo for MG in the area. I just love the aerial view. I want to just watch this from above right now. And it's Ranger Jr. from this wide side on these garages, knocking one of the members of Torch, immediately thirsted. The other 3 members are going to have a tall task here, trying to push into this side here, but OH with an absolute dime piece onto Turbot here. The other 3 members of CK now got to scramble a little bit. I think that car... I was gonna say, I think that car might be a little bit of a bait play.
They decided to leave.
Cut and run. Yeah, they're gonna cut and run and decide to not to try to gatekeep this side here. Maybe they know there's other third parties here, but it looks like they're gonna head all the way up to Crates Hill, just on the other side right now. And there's a lot more questions to be asked out of these teams in this kind of parking lot inside military base here. Still a full 4-man in PI and a 3-man for Torch right now. And again, a solo 4-main gaming kind of sitting in the weeds here. In the meantime, on the top side of your screen, you're watching the 187Zs push across the street and up the hill into that CK team that just rotated out of this. And just so much going on here. Blitz tick or Torch dropping one of the PI members to start it off here.
Wall of smoke that Torch put down.
What a grenade. What was that?
We'll keep an eye out on 187 and CK there potentially skirmishing. I missed that nade.
It's like, I don't know, it was like underhand. I don't even know if he had it underhand though. But some mutual destruction going on this end here. Both teams taking several knocks here. Torch is going to get dropped by Molotov, putting Tick down, and now FNX solo going down to another member of PI. Wiz going down as well.
Governor probably
Oh my
going to
gosh,
get this.
this is so messy.
Just caught Molotov there in the... I was going to say Molotov's in the blue. P9 Now third partying from the back. I think that's why CK decided to get out of here, because they just felt that this was going to be a disaster. Molotov made it out of the blue. Goes down to a nade, though, from Utezo. And Governor's most likely going to go down from blue. He got the first aid up, though, actually, so he's still alive. But not for much longer, I imagine. But now P9's got to worry about shots from behind.
Wow, so many teams up on this hill, Blitz. 187Zs were fighting CK, but they turned their attention to P9, and then CK kind of just walked over the top of them and took out the final 2-3 members. Right now, from above, Bizarre and Pickle are starting to wrap down on this side, and it's only Mutezo here trying to hold it down. He's got 3 kills, 5 for the squad, but he's just in a terrible position right now, trying to get some smokes onto other smokes right now. Seem to be dissipating, so he's really weak. Needs to get that heal up for 3 members of CK. Already 11 kills for this squad here. Just bearing down on him right now. Mutezo in the wide open out there. He's actually going to get killed from Himothy on TXC. Down to our final 4 teams here. We got 2 4-mans in AFI and TXC with a dominant split on the north side here, picking up maybe their second care package here, apparently clearing out that northeast side. But right now, it's all eyes are going to kind of be on AFI and CK on this edge. They're going to clean up that solo most likely. And then AFI is going to have to leave these buildings here. Looks like 7 Kings have a solo as well. Actually, they already did clean up Muto. So the only solo is what we're looking at is Tacticals across the street. And trying to whip the car to this side. Onyx
nice.
Absolutely not. Drops him with the barrel shots. Very nice shots.
So I was looking at the kill rankings here, Stento, out of the survivors, and honestly, CK picked up a lot of kills. They're at 11. I'm guessing they...
Yeah, absolutely.
I missed a lot in the kill feed there, but I'm guessing they got a lot of the 187 points and maybe even a kill off the 7 Kings to get to.
Sorry, Blitz. This is a great push from Bizarre, but he doesn't realize that Triple OG's already over here. Puts him down to 1 shot.
The
Another
car
car trying to run him
almost came
over,
over on the run over. So close. Triple OG gets Pixel out.
Hold it down, though.
CK's really been sending it today, and I don't know if it's paying off, but we love to see these kind of full send plays. Low health Ranger Jr. goes down to Triple OG there with help from Himothy and Bizarre. They're going to get wiped out there. They went for the big play.
I love that send, honestly, from CK. They kind of figured they knew where TXC was because I heard maybe them get the kill onto Tac, the solo. We saw Onyx on the other side, and they just had a ridiculous spread here. So TXC was always just going to have so many angles here. And now AFI have pushed up. It's a classic 4v4 ending here, Blitz. Maybe let's take a little bit of an aerial view and kind of look at the dynamics of this fight. Before we really jump into some of this first person, you can see we've all fought here a million times. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the military base island, just over one of the bridges in these hills on the west side of military base. AFI doing their best TXC impression here, getting a nice big 4-man spread on the farthest northwest side right now. TXC trying to push into a little bit more center zone. They've got a little bit more depth to their spread, the team Toxic there. And their 1-on-1 versus AFI Blitz. A nice knock out of Boatman. Lots of bolties on the play here, so we got to keep a close eye on the one-shots right now. But there is so much to keep track of here. Triple OG's got an MK, and he's kind of flanking back towards these buildings on the high side. And TXC beginning to gain a little bit more zone off of that bolty knock here, but they need to be careful with the push. AFI is one of our top teams in North America. If you aren't familiar with them, you absolutely will be by the end of this tournament. Omerta, Hobie, Zalodi, even Baby Joey, who hasn't been playing with them this event, I think will be joining them by the finals. So just tons of veteran players here, been playing together for a long time on this AFI squad. Changed names for a little bit to Skyline, but they're back to their original identity, AFI here. And I'm really enjoying the 4v4 right now.
Yeah, we don't get to see a lot of these 4v4s very often. And again, reminder, AFI is number 3 for NA and is definitely a top tier or number 1 caliber team. And Toxic, number 7 in NA right now in the showdown. Boatman's been hitting big sniper knocks today, which is not easy in competitive play to get those knocks with the bolty, which is why so many people run DMRs.
What are we doing here? I love Zalodi's perspective. They're in a one-shot car here. They're trying to get underneath this ridge that they know Yeah, Toxic has already pulled up on some shots. Nades are being traded out here. No knock for either side yet. Hobie's down weak here, but Zaloti is to the side of him.
Ooh, tough.
The
But
nades are
Himothy's
still
got
coming
such
out,
a good
Blitz.
spot on that top rock that it's going to be hard for them to push to the left. I think they might have to reconsider and go to the right. Left is too difficult here. AFI had to make this crash because they lost so much of the zone, so this was a huge play for them.
Yeah, this fight has turned from long range to close range here. The stuns and frags from each team are just raining down. Himothy opens it up with the Groza. Hobie flanks this side, but Onyx is there. So now 2 down for AFI. Someone's got to make something happen for them quick, but Triple OG is there with a care package gun of his own. And TXC holding strong, Blitz. We talked about him a little bit. They needed to get some momentum going. They started out strong and kind of plateaued. That's a nice 11 kill victory. Going to be 21 big points going to Team Toxic there. AFI with a decent round as well. Only 2 kills actually in a second place. Rounding out the top 3 is going to be Console Killers. They had a bunch of kills, 11 on the board.
Yeah, great games there as we say hello to everybody. That was just the end of game 2 out of 5 games tonight for NA. Again, we are in the final week of qualifying for NA and also for EU, but this is the NA portion. We just saw Toxic there take home a nice dinner. We got to hear some of their comms coming in today. Very clear comms. They had so much of the map, early on, take like so much of the map there covered. And then AFI, they left that hotspot, which CK went to. CK got a bunch of kills there, but an AFI was kind of stuck in the compound and only ended up with 2 kills. I mean, we were on board with them.
Yeah.
They could have made anything happen, but it just didn't go their way with that in that last fight.
Yeah, with hindsight, I think AFI is going to be kicking themselves not holding that top crates hill because so many teams came out of military base and they would have had shots on all of them and probably picked up a ton of kills there because AFI is just such good shooters. Instead, they kind of held a better position and resulted with just 2 kills and unfortunately couldn't make that 4v4 happen. There's just too many care package guns in the hands of TXC. And that vehicle play was a good play. It really kind of sped up the intensity of that fight. But when the 1v1s came down, I think it was a Groz knock, there was an MK knock. Those care package weapons, they matter. They really do matter in the long run, especially paired with some 3 armor and stuff. So a good job from TXC winning a nice clean 4v4. AFI back to the drawing board as we head to match 3, Blitz.
Yeah, that was just absolutely amazing. Hopefully you guys will stick around for 3 more games. Next up, what is it, Stenta? What map are we going to?
We're going to the dusty old desert of Miramar, my friends. We'll see you guys in just a moment.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we get into match 3, we are here with the NA versus EU showdown, spectating the NA teams from Group A and Group B. Again, as we mentioned, we are heading into match number 3. Each day during the qualifying event, we play 5 matches. 3 on Erangel, 2 on Miramar, and the Dusty Desert is always pretty exciting, usually pretty action-packed. So far, we've seen the 7 Kings come out with a dub in Game 1, and then right there, we had Toxic taking out AFI in Game 2. Once the scoreboard updates, we'll go through all that stuff, show you guys who's making the moves, but we have to take into consideration that not all teams are playing tonight. So we'll see some teams, get up to 25 games played while the other group will just be still at 20. But in any case, I'm Blitz5. Thank you guys for being here, hosting the current event on my channel, Blitz5 and Friends. So we just appreciate all the support. And with me is my friend and founder of Main Gaming, Mr. Stento.
Yeah, excited to drop in on match 3. We're heading over to Miramar. Looks like the plane path is from just south of El Ahazar, heading over towards the Monte Nuevo side. So a lot of the center of the map in play here. And Miramar really just depends on that first circle, man. It can pull so many teams from point A to point B all the way across the map. So I'm really looking for an interesting circle, maybe towards the end of the plane path here, Blitz. What do you think? Where are we going to be dropping?
Good question, Stento. I'm trying to think here. I'm just trying to see where everybody's dropping, really get into this game right now. Sometimes I'm not a big fan of dropping on the edge of Miramar. I feel like Miramar's such a tough map. You kind of want to be in a good spot. So I'm more of a fan of all the people going kind of center. But I'm going to say maybe we get a Los Leones circle, Stento. We don't see a lot go that way. And I'm still waiting on a city finish. I would love to see one end right in Los Leones with the new parachutes, people jumping out of buildings. To me, that would just be on-point action, but we'll probably see something silly like an Al-Azhar circle or something like that. But it's going to pop in just a moment here. There we go, up top.
Yeah, first shift kind of centering up near Cruz de Val, a little south of that area in general. So RMV 187Zs, SI, CK, MG in some decent locations right now to kind of start things off here. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. Lots of teams on the southwest side of the map here are going to have to rotate to zone. But right now, hopping on board with Main Gaming, who had a decent round last game. Might be a good time to go check the scoreboard, Bliss. Actually, I don't think we're going to be updated quite yet with the last match, but we'll keep a close eye on that, and we'll go check that out shortly here. We'll probably have a little bit of a lull in the early game here, and we'll figure out exactly when that 20-second match has been added to the scoreboard. But for now, no hot drops. What do we got on our mind, Blitz?
Thinking about here, I always mention that I think, the bottom side of the zone is, to me, one of the most difficult ones on Miramar with the junkyard zones and all the hills here. But this is only on the bottom side of the zone. But this area just gets so chaotic for so many teams with all of these hills and so many locations. To me, this is just like a dreaded area of the map. There's not a lot of hard cover here. A couple shit shacks occasionally located in the area. So this could be a spot the circle goes back to. Could go a little further north here. Sometimes we see the circle kind of make it up to Cruz del Val. That would be kind of fun. We haven't seen too many up here. Miramar, such a great location with so many good spots, but sometimes you just see a lot of the same zones over and over again in esports, which is, slight variation. So we'll see what happens there. I would love to see some teams kind of get ready to block some rotations, because this zone, so many teams dropped late here. There's not that many teams in the zone.
Yeah.
And if you're Bloodhound right now, Stento, you guys they're so far away from zone.
Yeah, we're going to start to see some teams move here. I would like to bring your attention up to just north of El Ahazar. There's a couple teams interwoven here. Dreams is playing the outside fence on a couple of 187Z members. I'm just kind of tapped into his perspective. He's got an AK with the hollow on it, and I'm not sure if the 187Zs have any idea he is here. He actually has a friend kind of pulling up right behind him. As you can see, Jumar has now joined the situation on your mini map. So it's a little bit of a 2-on-2 in this compound. And again, Dreams has been very careful here. So I don't think the 187Zs have any idea he is here. Mistake. Looting in the first floor here.
Ooh, risky shot there into the window.
I like to see a little bit better trigger discipline there. The angle wasn't really going to be there for long. Now the 187Z's on full guard. We're going to see probably the rest of both of these teams pull up here soon. It's going to be a matter of who can pull up in the right spot and help out their team faster than the other one here. Blitz, they've put Mistake down to one shot here. So Dreams taking that as a little bit of a sign to kind of push up. And I think Savage and Mistake are going to be in a little bit of trouble here unless the rest of the squad pulls up quickly.
Yeah, I was trying to see where the rest of 187 was there and accidentally brought up the entire map. I was just trying to bring up a little preview there because they're going to need the help. It looks like Mistake is fighting with Solus there on the backside. I'm going to stay tuned here because we're seeing the push into the building. They catch... Was that Legend there?
Yeah, they got Legend and Mistake. It was Solus took down Legend and then they pushed into this building and got Mistake in that side room there. So a well-timed push from RMV. And unfortunate for the 187Zs now kind of scrambling is a Swag and Savage here. They're still in this long building. Swag pulling up on the hill, but Savage is going to need to make something happen in here pretty quickly. He's going to try the stun. Perhaps follow it up with a frag situation.
Fortunately, nobody's really there, though. The rest of RMB is down the way, so just use all that utility, not knowing that there's nobody technically there. And that's going to be it for 187Z. That was pretty quick for RMV. And RMV has moved up one spot to 16th place, so getting those 4 points is really crucial for them because they need to make it past 100 here. They need to get into the 130s, really, if they want to make it into the top 9.
Yeah, absolutely. So unfortunate there for the 187Zs. The timing just wasn't right, but very, very well done for RMV getting picking up those 4 kills. That's going to be great. And just taking a look at our map here, a couple of teams pulling into really good spots. RMV's in a really good spot right now. Main Gaming in a really good spot. A couple of teams just south of that getting a little close to each other. Shooters Instinct and Console Killers. And just look at like the power grid, San Martin middle side of your map. So many teams rotating right now. Torch, Toxic Lady Lasers, Team Toxic. So many teams kind of pulling into zone here. We'll have to just keep a close eye on these rotations because it's a ton happening right now. Seven Kings look like they're taking an airlift kind of to that north side. Maybe they saw that package job. No, they're going to hang out in the center zone here.
Yeah, it's a good spot. We got the scoreboard updated. Just wanted to quickly bring us over to that. If we take a look, Console Killers have moved their way up into 2nd place. They moved up 2 spots, but again, we have to take into consideration that teams like Vigorous aren't playing right now, so we're going to see teams like them move down the leaderboards. But something I wanted to show, Sento, is look at the top. If you look at the left teams, for people watching, look at the points. Seven Kings, first team to make it into 300 points, but at the bottom of the list, look that to be in the 8th and 9th spot, you need to have around 130 points right now. I'm looking at Winner Circle in Phase 9. So all these teams on the right, Stento, are getting pretty far away now. I mean, before they were, 10 points away, 20 points away. Now we're talking, 30, 40 point differential for many of these teams. So this is where the gap is starting to really break away. So this is really some of the last chances that these teams have, as this is the last week for qualifying to make it back up that list. So really, this is the point where every game counts. So if something's not working, like we saw with 187 now, they are going to want to maybe reconsider their strategy for how they're playing.
We're going to see some teams start to get a little bit more aggressive. It looks like the Dub Hub getting really close to the Seven Kings up there near Cruz del Val. And we just looked at the scoreboard. The Dub Hub have been hanging out in the top 9 the entire tournament. They just got bumped to 10th place from Phase 9. So they're going to be looking for a bounce back game to try to get them involved. And just as we say that, I do not know if they knew what was going on the high side there, but they had Cheech and Wabaku land up there. They just did not know the Seven Kings had already taken that spot here. And Cheech kind of
going for a clip dive there
down the side of this mountain, but anything to kind of get away from a full team on the high side there. And Dub Hub need to regroup. They need a decent performance here. They got to hang strong for the rest of the day. They just got bumped from those top 9 spots, so they need this bounce back.
Yeah, that was a great point to recognize that from the Dub Hub. They just kind of had a tough game. We saw them get eliminated in the Chopsticks early on. They've just had some tough matches so far. They really had a comeback, I think, in week 2. It got them kind of a little farther up, so we know it's there. That snipe looked good for Albos. Kind of delayed on the kill feed there, coming in on Linkadox.
Wow,
Nice knock
that
from
was
Albos.
nice. Yep. Link's gonna need to go find a new helmet. Dub Hub really aren't in a position to push up onto this. They're just kind of mutually existing now with the Seven Kings taking that high side. They're both technically on the high side of this mountain, but Seven Kings way up above the church here, and Dub Hub are going to be kind of locked into that position, unfortunately for them. So they might want to look to kind of relocate sooner than later, especially since it is the Seven Kings there. See where this circles up here in just a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen. But
wow,
boom.
continuing up north now. Main Gaming, very happy about their spot. There's going to be a team, maybe TLL, that pushes just across the street there. Kind of just wanted to talk quickly about this area. What a unique spot, Cento, right? You just don't get to play up here that often. I mean, if you played a lot of PUBG, you've been up here before, but it's just a spot that you don't come to that often. And the amount of layers here, this area just keeps getting higher and higher. It's just an interesting spot to play in. And it looks like the Seven Kings might be heading to this compound below. I wouldn't doubt if they go here and then maybe send somebody out to scout for a vehicle potentially to kind of get ready for any other rotation. And this is a nice compound to play because you can move up and get kind of that compound above them. I think that was a friendly stun against one of the team members. Albos is actually driving by on a motorcycle. Does he know that the team is here rotating? Now he does.
oh
He's
my
one
gosh.
shot. Will a shot hit? That last one looked pretty good.
Looks like a little airlift situation. What am I seeing out of the corner of Warhawk's
It's
eye
a
here?
UFO coming in from the side. It's a
No
glider,
shot.
Stento.
I have not seen a ranked glider in a minute, but there you go.
I was gonna say, I
Excuse me,
thought I
an
saw a
esports
UFO.
glider.
I don't think I've seen anybody use a glider in the whole showdown so far.
I honestly forgot that they were in esports. There's just very, very, very small amount of them.
Yeah, you actually never see them when we're kind of flying around the map, so that's a pretty rare sight.
I'm like trying to figure out if I screwed the settings up or something, but I don't think so. Check out the kill feed. Toxic Lady Lasers. Oh, I didn't see where it happened. Oh, there you go. You can catch the green team on your left there. Torch picking up some much needed points. Perhaps on a hard crash onto the Lady Lasers. We didn't see how it happened, but unfortunately for TLL, out in 15th place there. And Torch picking up some big points. They're one of those teams on the right side of the leaderboard that need everything. They got to get some momentum stacking on top of each other here.
Yeah, I can't believe it because TLL could have moved in and been completely safe, but then they went out to the west there and got caught by Torch. Got kind of lost in the sauce looking for that care package. Ends up being an going to P9, so apologies there for a little wonky camera action. We'll tune into Toxic, who's got this street here. Again, the compound to the north of them is still open. Someone's got to take that. That's a pretty powerful spot to have across from MG. Boatman is scoping it out right now.
Does he not realize? Whoa, was that a little bit of a spectator glitch?
But I missed it.
His gun wasn't reloaded, and then without reloading it reloaded. I don't know what is going on, but it might be on my end. That was kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if I said on my side.
This is an interesting area. Lots of teams kind of locked into their position right now as teams somewhat rotate around them. Boat's going to have to be careful here, showing a little bit of line of sight to Main Gaming, who's at that warehouse compound, most likely playing the roofs there. There's just so many teams that are in a good spot right now. As you can see on the map, so many teams just kind of hunkered into a decent spot center zone, whether it's a compound or some ridges. There's a lot to play right now. And now CK getting a little close to Shooter's Instinct here. Bizarre needs to be careful. I'm not sure he realizes that there's one way closer to him. Blitz Panda is way closer.
Yeah, Panda's sneaking up on them from behind.
Oh,
Tapping into Panda's perspective, gets the knock on Bizarre. Turbot's there with the P90. Quick trade there.
Big trade from Turbot. The rest of the team needs to show up pretty soon for SI here. Bizarre getting thirsted a little bit. He needs to get those smokes down and get hands on soon and prevent the rest of the push here. He's going to need some help getting this res, I think.
if there's any gun you want in a situation where a team could be pushing you, it's the P90. But look, Eliminator is actually pretty far away there, Stento. It was hard to tell in first person.
Yeah, that res is gonna be fine. I think they have another teammate somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, they do.
Where
Pixel's
is
kind of
Pixel?
watching way back, kind of playing an anchor from across the road almost. He's on the north side of the road, right? He's all the way north on the other side of the road, looking back.
Yes, exactly. It's throwing me off
Took a
there a
second
little
for
bit.
me to get my it took me a second to get my bearings, but yeah, just kind of overwatching from super long range. So a broken SI gonna kind of push away from that situation. None of these guys are in besides that solo that we were just watching here, but Torch versus TXC here are winners from last match, and we have knocks on both sides. Tuning into this battle a little late here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it looks like TXC got here a little late and Torch maybe showed up first. And it's just Boatman left. He gets a knock and a flush here. Or gets the double flush onto both members of Torch. They were both knocked there, so that's good points for Boatman, but he's lost most of the members of his team.
Yeah, just down to Boatman here. He's got Wiz and OH to deal with, and I think some long range. That's Main Gaming is kind of across the street, stealing some of these kills, laying down a little bit of damage onto some of these players. So forcing Boat and perhaps those two members of Torch into a little bit of hard cover to prevent that third party right now. It looks like Boat caught Wiz trying to go right to left now, and AFI have shown up on the bottom side ridge, as you'll see on the left side of your screen here in just a moment, showing up with cars and on foot. So heavy artillery pulling up. Boat's going to be in a really difficult spot here now, trying to get into that long building. He's going to get in there, slam the door shut, get a little bit of smoke here, try to regroup, but now it's just a matter of survival for our winners in last match, just down to the solo and Boatman. And AFI have fully infiltrated this compound now. They've sensed that there's some broken teams in here. They're going to bring out the FBI style building clears. Boatman is down, out in 14th place. I'm not sure they realize someone is on the top floor. Zalodi's kind of clearing it with some different peaks. Now a little bit of a frag situation.
Yeah, very good nade. They had to worry that it went outside. I think they heard the footstep from outside. They heard the drop. Zalodi's there to pick it up, but they got to cover for Light. Good shots onto FNX there. Zalodi's going to be able to get inside, or excuse me, that's Light, that is. But a nade comes in from Wiz across the way.
Well-timed nade from Wiz. Torch already have 7 kills here, so they're kind of playing with house money right now. Wiz has to play this aggressive. He's got Zalodi knocked, and there's just 2 members in there, Hobie and Omerta, trying to get this res off. I love the aggression here. I think he just caught them through the smoke a little bit, but that is much more dense smoke for the players on the battlefield. It gets a little bit thinner for us while we are spectating and observing here. Jump through the window from Wiz. He's going to be able to catch Hobie. The res has gone off, so they're back up to 2 strong there, Blitz. So Wiz is going to need to take a second, get a heal off, and then re-push here. So AFI, a 3-man unit in this house right now, doing all they can to hold off the solo. A little bit of a prone hold from Omerta is going to work out just fine. They're going to be all right, picking up 3 kills of their own here. Tons of early to mid-game action breaking out here in match 3 of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is the North American section of our Main Gaming NA versus EU Showdown. We are in our 3rd and final week of the qualifiers for NA. Trapping on board with our own team here, Main Gaming. FNX got the 6X strapped onto the AUG here, not connecting on too much damage, just a little bit onto Omerta. The rest of AFI a little bit behind. FNX is gonna retract in. Acid Burn perhaps calling him back here.
Well, I'm watching Bloodhound on a tough rotation with Eno right now. There's just nonstop action, so we're flipping from fight to fight. Shadow catching the last member of Eno, and they're going to drop down. Bloodhounds with 4 kills. We saw them flying a glider earlier. Now they're on the outside of the map. AFI having a tough time getting to zone after those nice kills, and that was actually such a good play from AFI to hold that off from Wiz. Wiz made really good maneuver, though, in that long building, but Omerta ended up laying down there, which usually catches people off guard when you're laying down. So just good fights from both sides there in that previous fight.
And the south side of the map is getting really crazy. PI and CK getting really close here. And another 2 teams, Main Gaming and AE, perhaps about to have a little bit of a fight of their own on the other side here. 4-man of Main Gaming have pulled up right onto this side ridge here, Blitz. So it's really starting to heat up on that side of the map right now. They're going to have Little bit of a cover from the north side. That's 7 Kings in the compound just to the side of them, but they're probably going to want to take this fight as soon as they can and clear AE out of this situation so they can push in. But Asivert not able to connect with the nade or the 4x scope on the Scar right now. They're going to continue to nade this shack right now. AE's going to need to be careful. Ernster with a bolty. Well timed,
he got the
with
nade
his
and
own
then
grenade.
the bolty.
Hit him both. So Ernster, amazing double kill. Gonna just open the gates wide open for this push for main gaming. The shack is still in. They need to get up there quick here, Blitz, and that's actually a
and
really
7 Kings
the
came
third
from
party.
behind.
Wow.
They're
7
going to
Kings
pick up
now,
so many
you know,
kills here from behind. MG takes out AE, but 7 Kings is here to probably end their game so far. I'm not sure what Warhawk was doing. He didn't go for that shot. What happened?
Oh, a very good push from 7 Kings to get involved here. Main gamer, we're gonna run through AE there. I'm not sure who actually picked up all those kills here, and that was bizarre. Like Warhawk couldn't shoot or something, so Ernster actually took him down there, but it was a team push, so there was plenty of 7 Kings there to kind of help out. They did leave Linkadox in there. It was a 3-man push, so a good push there to kind of clean out that south side there and pick up some kills.
Such a smart play. How many teams are doing that, leaving the compound and zone to get those extra points? And I want to say that MG and AE, those are our 13th and 14th teams.
Yeah, those are
place
big
teams.
exits.
So those are big exits for them. They really wanted to continue. Main gaming was probably excited they were going to get those points, and then to drop out there is unfortunate.
Yeah, nothing you can do. That's just a really well-timed push for the 7 Kings. And now they're turning their attention over to this RMV PI fight. So a big 4-on-4 fight breaking out here on this side of the map. Trades coming out on both sides right now. And we're on board with Solus here. He's got a couple of PI members right on his head here. Not able to connect there in a little bit of a full send. Oh my god.
A jump spray.
Nap time went for the dunk, but Matumbo was waiting for him at the rim there. Blitz shuts him down. He's got 1 health here, so it's down to just Solus trying to deal with the final member of PI here. Impressive plays from Solus here as a one-man, basically.
Yeah, that totally turned the tide. I mean, he kind of whiffed on that initial first shot, and then after that jump, man came through and he got the knock. He then kind of stepped it up there. It kind of switched the momentum a little bit, but it's just Solus, as you mentioned. The rest of the team
And
now
the
has been
7 Kings
eliminated.
are here, Blitz. The 7 Kings are going to clean it all up. They're kind of just sweeping the south side of the map here. Governor with a good job to put one of them down. That's the Linkadox going down to the barrel now, and there's 3 of his teammates all around him right now. He's going to need to get a heal off. He doesn't really have time, though. The rest of the squad is pushing over the top. And that's going to be Quavo taking Governor out in 5th place. Wow, that happened fast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to our final 4 teams here.
Yeah, it looks like 7 Kings is not wasting any time, and they're doing an interesting strategy because we saw once they take the lead like this, they're the first team into 300 points. Normally, they would just kind of sit center compound. You see them, honestly, sometimes just inside the building, not even peeking, just waiting for the end game to, get placement points and keep their consistent play. But this time around, I don't know if they're challenging themselves, or they just want some blood, but they're kind of taking the outside of the zone, just rotating around and picking up all these kills. And we are in a very quick final 4.
Yeah, Blitz, why don't we pull up our scoreboard? It'd be a good time for everyone to get a little bit of a sense of, obviously, 7 Kings having a very strong day on top of a very strong tournament. But there's another team in here that this is going to be a big round for. The Bloodhounds, our 11th place team right now with 114 points. They need 14 points to get into that top 9 conversation. But as you can see, 7 Kings were our first team on either side, NA or EU, to eclipse 300 points. So you got to shout them out. They've just been having a very strong event right now. It's only going to be up to a couple teams, Console Killers, Affinity, and Vigorous, that really have any sort of a chance to catch them. But 7 Kings really just with too much momentum here. And yeah, we just wanted to show you guys Bloodhounds in this one right now. So there's someone to keep an eye on, someone to root up for. Besides 7 Kings right now, in Salad, for that B8 squad, they're going to take down the Dub Hub. So the Dub Hub have kind of been here for a long time. We saw them lose a member as they dropped in onto the 7 Kings, who have kind of just been running rampant all over the map right now. But Bloodhounds have picked up 4 kills here, and some decent placement as well, as we're watching Warhawk from the top of the hill with some very nice SLR spray. Takes down Salad, who has been having a great day for BH as well. They're going to need to get across the street as soon as possible. I love this angle that Quavo's taking. Maybe we go see what's going on over there, Blitz. I have no idea if he has comm on the dub hub right next to him. He'll eventually hear this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta imagine he probably knows that they're there at some capacity or is suspicious. I love this kind of rotation, especially with the gun that he has, Sento. He's got the P90. Looks like he knows that they're kind of coming up there. He might have heard that because he looked right at the tower there at the right time. And look at
Aggressively
Cheech.
sprints and Cheech was kind of just playing his own thing there. Had no idea that Quavo was taking this fully aggressive 12 kills for the 7 Kings. And now again, for the second game in a row, we have a little bit of a 4-on-4 situation. Our top team in the tournament facing off versus our 11th place team. This is very important for the Bloodhounds. If they could pick up an extra 4 kills and take this chicken dinner, that might be enough to jump them into the top 9 right now. They're going to need to start to spread out. You need to get a little bit more real estate versus a team like the 7 Kings here. And we're seeing Freight and I think Muerte on a bike. So this is actually a very valuable play. Gonna buy them a little bit of time and space and give them some good angles here. I think they're going to need to keep the bike going so they don't get pinned into that compound. Unfortunately, I think they pulled up. So we'll see what they can do with that rotation.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Sento, this is a situation where they needed to spread out probably earlier than this. I'm talking about the Bloodhounds here to counteract this circle from the 7 Kings. You could even argue that it could be worth it to have a team member kind of up on this corner before, playing this rocker, this little shed here to stop them from kind of rolling down this hill. But we'll see where the next circle goes. And really, Quavo is going to be that X factor all the way on the north side of the zone. And the zone just basically circled up on itself. So neither teams are really in, but Muerte and Freight are going to have this little corner of the compound in. It's really going to come down to what do the 3 members of the 7 Kings on the right side do? How do they play that? Trade coming in up top from Linkadox and Salad. Salad getting knocked again, kind of giving himself to the open earlier. And Quavo's going to play aggressive here. This could be the game changer because if he gets both these kills, it's going to be 4v2. Nade cooking.
Gonna elect to go with a grenade.
Into
this is gonna be well timed on the res. Who's gonna be one shot, takes down his teammate as well. Quavo just such an X factor with these flanks, man. They just have no idea it's coming because the knock trade was from all the way up top. Now they turn their attention to the final 2 members. It's going to be up to Freight and Muerte to make something really special happen, working their way out of this compound with the 4-man of the 7 Kings kind of bearing down on it.
Yeah, and Quavo, I thought he was going to stop running here. He's just going balls to the wall right now, running straight in the middle of the street. I think he's going to try to get all the way over there, Stento. Looks like Muerte's trying to make a play, stop something from happening, and now, honestly, the dominoes are falling. At this point, you could probably put a bow on it, Stento. 7 Kings are going to most likely take their second dub of the day.
Yeah, and in a strong one there. Once the everything is written in stone here, it's going to be a 14 or 15 kill, 15 or 16 kill chicken dinner. I think they're beginning to shoot themselves here a little bit because if no one else is going to take you down, you might as well fight yourself a little bit, Blitz. But 16 kills and a win, dominant performance from these guys once again. Just kind of combing through some third-party fights and just picking up a ton of kills, led by Quavo there with 10 of his own. Bloodhounds, this is going to be a big for them. We were just showing them in 11th place. They picked up 4 kills on top of that's going to be 10 points for them. So a big 10 points at that, jumping them a little bit closer to those top 9 placement points. And the Dub Hub need every point they can get as well, with 3 kills going to Cheech in the 3rd place.
Yeah, I think that's going to be some good momentum for Dub Hub, Stento, because they just haven't been having the best day to start off today. We'll have to again check where they're at the scoreboard. I think they just fallen out of the top 9 or maybe in 9th place, right at that edge. It's just hard to keep track of everybody, but 3 kills, they're going to get some placement points. That's good for them. And then 7 Kings, I mean, if your team's in the lobby right now, you definitely have to be worried about them. I mean, not because of their score, they're already way in first, but if you run into them early on, it's just a team you don't want to run into or see because it could really hurt your game there. And I don't know what else to say, Stento.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some impressive performances from several teams tonight, and now that's the second win for 7 Kings. So you just got to tip your hat. Some great gameplay, some great squad versus squad fighting, some really timely pushes onto other teams. Fighting on edge and pushes they don't have to make. But they're just hungry for it, man. They're locked in, and then that's just another big dub for them. We're going right back to Miramar for match 4, and we'll get that lobby set up for you guys, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
GG's, everybody. Pray to the circle gods. Let's get a good circle. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the last week of qualifiers for NA. This is the NA versus EU Showdown brought to you by Main Gaming. I am one of your hosts, Blitz5, with my friend and founder of Main Gaming, Stento. We are back onto Miramar for our fourth game of the night. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is our daily map rotation for the qualifiers. And then after this week, we'll be heading into the playoffs and then into the finals. For the regular season, we're going to be giving away $1,000, splitting that between North America and Europe, kind of giving people a little bit of money off the bat there so they can get some halfway through the tournament, which is very nice. And then once we get into the finals, that's where a majority of the prize pool is located, $4,000, and $2,000 of which is going to the first place team, which is absolutely incredible. And again, I forget if I showed this, but here is our complete list of NA teams so far. Tonight, we're watching Group A fight versus Group B. And we kind of have a little bit of like a round robin throughout the week where these groups play each other. And then earlier in the day at 3 p.m. Eastern, we had the EU teams play, and they'll be playing tomorrow and on Wednesday as well. And to take us in for the fourth game of the day is Stento. What's up, man?
Just having a look at the plane path, man. I love where we're starting out. I want everyone to jump and go islands, and that's where I want the circle to end. But once again, kind of striping through like the bottom center of the map from islands to Monte Nuevo. So much of the northern part of the map is going to be entirely unplayable. Lots of drops up there as well, man. We've seen tons of teams kind of spreading up there. So I think we're going to see some crowded drops here. Some teams are going to be kind of forced into one another off of this plane path purely because of its direction. So we'll keep a close eye on the map here. As we start to jump out here, Blitz, what's a team you're keeping your eye on for match 4 of the evening tonight?
Ooh, that's such a good question, Stento. I mean, I'm really curious what's up with A&E because we saw them make so many big plays. I feel like I can't remember if it was week 1 of this event or in the weeklies. I just thought their team was starting to get so strong there. They've kind of struggled a little bit as of late to make it into the end. So their team definitely looking to see what they can do here. Kind of the same with the dub up, Stento. I feel like they're just in a similar situation, just higher up on the leaderboards. And again, you guys hopefully saw the leaderboards a little bit during the intermission, but we'll try to show that once that last game updates and keep reminding you guys every time we're talking about a team. We'll try to show off kind of where they're at. I'm seeing 2 places right now where teams are kind of double dropping it. We have El Pozo and at Chu. We're seeing Eno and AFI at Chu. And then the Dub Hub and 187.
Oh, circle pulls heavy to choose as well. And yeah, there was a couple things I was keeping my eye on. This Pozo drop right now. Get over there. Cheech with the shoddy is making it happen right now for the Dub Hub. They need everything right now. They are going in and out of 9th and 10th place. This is a team directly on the border of jumping into the playoffs here. Their Dub Hub is playing tonight. I think that means that they're going to play either tomorrow or Wednesday. So this team has got 5-6 more matches total, Blitz. They need every single point they can get in 10th place right now.
Yeah, so this is definitely a more crucial fight for the Dub Hub than for the 187s because they've kind of fallen pretty far south, unfortunately for them. They're in 18th place. Obviously, I think, you know, with 2 days remaining, really Cheech. I was going to say 2 days remaining, but it's really not 2 days remaining, Stento, because we have to remember the teams that are playing today are only going to be playing one more time after this. So really, a lot of these teams only have this match, 1 more for today, and then 5 more. So really, including this one, 7 more matches total for these teams.
Yeah, the regular season is running out. Time is running out in every single knock, every single time you go down. For a team like the Dub Hub right now, it is just becoming more and more costly. Cheats picked up a kill before getting knocked. I'm not sure what the rest of the Dub Hub has to say about this, if they're going to try and push up and save Cheech. They need to be careful. The 187Zs have some interesting angles here. So this is a situation where we're likely going to see some mutual destruction if the Dub Hub is to kind of decide, let's try to get Cheech up here. The 187Zs are, as you can see, in kind of the northwest side, but they've got all sorts of different angles there as Mistake tries to wrap his way around here. Savage kind of holding the knock. He's the only one in this 5-sec here. He's got the micro Uzi here. Wabaku wants to save Cheech here. He's going to need a little bit of help from his team.
And that did come in. A couple of shots tagged Savage. I'm really surprised that 187Z is not trying to do anything to rotate on this. You know,
yeah, it seems like they're a little bit slow to react right now. I think the Dub Hub is going to be very fortunate here to get this res off. They might eventually have a 2-on-1 now versus Savage. Mistake is getting a little bit closer. Savage is on the outside of this building right now, so the Dub Hub.
There we go. Finally getting some shots in from Legend to maybe move them over a little bit. Just, yeah, really delayed for Mistake to come in here. Was more of in a position to get over to Savage. I'm kind of staying in this area view so we can see the movement from the squad. If anybody gets close to one another on this 5-stack, we will drop in to FPP view. Savage went the other way. Wabaku's in the building. I'm going to move into Savage perspective. Hops in the building. Wabaku missed him. Lines up the micro
There's the
Uzi.
headset blitz.
Just totally didn't miss it. And maybe there were some comms coming through. And oh no, this is good trade.
Cheech with a big save.
That was huge. Dub Hub right now is getting so lucky.
Dude, they need to keep their team up here right now. Mistake is now showing up with a stunner. He's going to get it inside and perhaps follow it up with a jump in. The Dub Hub have got that res off once again, and Mistake maybe taking a little bit too time to try to get an angle here, but it's a good one. Takes Cheech down. It's going to need to be a good play from Wabaku here. They're just trading off back and forth. The Dub Hub going huge to keep their team 4 strong here. Now it's just up to Legend, and Albos has him covered. We're snapping directly out of there. It doesn't really matter, Blitz. That's a nice hold by that Dub Hub there. We didn't miss a thing. Just a strong hold by the Dub Hub. Unfortunately, the timing was just slightly off for the 187Zs. They're never scared to take a fight. We always knew they were going to square up. And unfortunate for them, just again, the timing and a good push by the Dub Hub to keep 4 strong. Those are big points for the Dub Hub, man.
I can't believe that they Dub Hub didn't lose anybody there. My mouth is kind of just dropped right there because I just
I'm
shocked
seeing a little
at the
bit
trades.
of an AWM grab here in the meantime in Shadow. Look at that. No skin on the gun either. Maybe we've taken skins off guns for this or something, or this is a new account, but I love seeing that old-fashioned AWM skin.
Yeah, there's something about a lot of the guns in the game, just seeing that the raw
it's
skin.
nice. Ooh. All right, BH is a very important team to keep an eye on here. We talked about him towards the end of last game here. They need to be taking a little bit more care than this. They're going to lose their AWM player right off the rip here unless they can get some body blocking in. And
body block,
unfortunately,
didn't really come in, Sento. We talked, we're big fans of that. They needed 2 people to get in front of that body.
So far away that you could have been body blocking a little bit earlier here. And does it look like Blurtsy's leading the way here, Blitz? I'm not sure we've gotten into an Astro A40 listening with P9, but now it might be a great time. They're pushing this aggressively.
Yeah, let's head on over to P9. We're going to check their comms right meow.
Us. They're going to be right on the other side of this hill, Borzy, to your left. Like, probably cresting in about 10 seconds.
Rock right in front of me on my nade.
The hill, are pushing up to us.
Smoke, please. Someone's got to touch me, bro. They're kind of far off. 2 defend, 1 grab.
Fuck it up, try to grab. They're pushing right out of take a resi.
Yeah, we're getting fucking shot up, dude. Stay back, stay back, stay back.
Bro, somebody can grab me. I'm telling you. What the fuck?
They're wrapping right. Like hella right.
We're getting third party, bro.
Nice. You guys have pushed like to the right. Oh, fuck. I think you guys have to play the shack in here, bro. Honestly, get the resin.
Dude, can you watch us?
He's kind of watching.
Then we need to just go. Actually, just lay low. Actually, lay low. Watch it right.
You got kids in the backfield compound though, so you guys have to be careful.
See that? See that? Come to me, bro. Maybe.
Yo, you guys can play church. Go downhill. Downhill this way, or I mean this way.
Hey, we just need to make it right here. This day, bro. For now. shit. Do you have any more smokes? Fuck.
No.
Nah, I don't.
Where'd that come
I don't know
from?
where you knocked me from.
Okay, no, compound across the hills.
Can you put a ping on it so I know?
I have no clue where they shot me from.
Where the fuck am I going on? I'm going to muted. Yeah.
Yeah, come to me. I got a decent dip.
I think you guys work down.
People
You
get
guys
on
can
Chin Hill though. We're
work down
dead.
into the compound on the left. There's nobody playing it, bro.
Yeah. I'm going now.
And I need Overwatch.
This should be free, bro.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, this kid can see me.
They're on the hill, bro.
Crossed. Yeah, I gotta back up.
All right, so we're back in with Stento. We just listened in on P9 there. Looked like they were going to have a pretty quick and decisive skirmish against BH, but some of the knocks just didn't fall. They lost a member there, Blurtsy as well. He was kind of yelling for the pickup, but then so many third parties were coming in. I was trying to get some area views to show people who were watching what kind of they were dealing with. They weren't aware of actually, where everybody was, but there's so many people surrounding the area. And then also a lot of the comms are coming in to push one of these compounds, either the long building in the crater area there or down to the church. But every time they went to move, they were just getting pinged pretty hard there. So I think they're going to be stuck in this kind of crater section. And it looks like they might eventually make this push to the church. P9 here with a torch with a molly onto the Bloodhounds. I feel like they either need to sit still here or play very aggressive and try to get BH out so they can kind of claim a little bit more of this area. Angel trying to rotate here for P9. We're going to tap in. Mutso's going to go down, bleeding out. Wonder if they're going to try to make a last-ditch effort to run towards the church. Torch goes down. This is not looking good for P9 here, Stento. And that's going to be it for the Bloodhound. 14th team eliminated there after they had a pretty good games today in general. All right, we're going to tap into Main Gaming, who just pulled up. Give us 1 second here. We're going to reconnect with Stento.
I can hear you now.
Awesome. All right, let me get you on board. We're on with Main Gaming now. Toxic Lady Lasers across the street. We watched P9 kind of struggle there a little bit to figure out where they were going to go.
Yeah, P9 just found themselves in a really tough spot. They were taking a fight with BH, and several third parties started to kind of play a factor. So it was actually in the end a very strong hold for BH. That team we just keep talking about is right on the edge of the top 9 team. So BH really playing well today to put more and more points on the board.
Yeah, I was mentioning before that the comms were coming out that they... Ooh, here we go. Ernster trying to get a nice knock here. The comms were coming out to move into one of the buildings, but every time they went in any direction, they were getting third, fourth, fifth party from people around the map, and they were having a hard time figuring out where they were getting shot from. And I think I accidentally mentioned that the Bloodhound got eliminated, but I meant P9 previously.
Yep.
Ernster taking out TLL there. Southern confirming the kill. They're in a good spot. They're center. We haven't really talked about the circle after the first one, actually, because we were in the comms there for a little bit. This is what we're dealing with right now. We're tapped into Main Gaming, skirmishing here across the way. Jams goes down from Polaris with the mini. Will Main Gaming get aggressive and try to take out TLL to regain a hold of this compound?
Yeah, what's interesting is they're both in really good zone, so they have to be careful about pushing too aggressive across the street.
And Tacticals
For
could
a
be
couple kills
overwatching
here.
here, so this could be risky. Shots coming in from
Looks like they're calling it
Tacticals.
out.
On to FNX. This could be not worth it. FNX goes down. They needed, I think, a smoke wall, Stento.
Yeah, they elected to not throw a smoke wall, just kind of push across to be sneaky here. They're gonna get into a safe spot. A little bit of difficult footwork here for Polaris, but Ernster's anchoring, watching across the street, trying to figure out where exactly the lady lasers are. And that was a risky play to push across the street. Tacticals is on top of the ridge there with an M249, just letting the saw go here. And now it's just 2 lady lasers left here trying to deal with the MG. Cerny almost won that 1v1 with Polaris in there, and Jams is there for the trade. However, FNX is there for a trade of their own. So Lady Lasers putting up a really strong fight versus Main Gaming here, but just a little bit of numbers favor going to Main Gaming here, picking up those 3 kills.
Yeah, it was super helpful that they had already eliminated a few members, and even though they got knocked on the push, TLL was going for that revive, so they couldn't really capitalize on that knock from Tacticals there. So that worked out in their favor. Here's the circle. Nobody's
very
really...
interesting. The circle, that massive ridge that 7 Kings are already on top of. The Dub Hub is also up there, so tons of teams to keep an eye on right now. Blitz, the 23 matches have now all been added to the leaderboard. If we do want to take a quick peek, we know what's going on at the top, but it is definitely getting more heated towards the top 9, which is what we just keep saying. As you can see, Dub Hub and Winner Circle both moving themselves back into the top 9 here, but they are just 1, 2, 3 points ahead of Phase 9. Bloodhounds right there as well. Torch and Main Gaming also not too far off. RMV, Ascension Esports. These teams are still possible for them to make a play here. There's 2 more matches tonight, at least 5 more on Tuesday and 5 more on Wednesday for some of these squads. And right now, it's just all eyes are got to be on that top 9 push right now, Blitz.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised to see, the Bloodhounds making a nice push there. Main Gaming has been stuck in 12th for so long, so just interesting to see that. But right now, I'm actually kind of catching a fight, so I want to get back here. AFI is skirmishing with Toxic, 2 of our kind of top teams. There's multiple people knocked. It's just Zalody, excuse me. Getting some nasty sprays, but going to get taken out from TXC. I want to see how many members are alive still. Himothy coming in from the blue. Onyx is back up. I think they'll be able to pick him up. The zone's right here and bring him in. So they're going to be fine. They're going to get back to 4 strong. And again, this is actually more important for Toxic considering that they are in 5th. AFI is in 3rd, but actually Toxic's in a much better spot, but this is going to help solidify that top 8 for them.
Yeah, this shift pulled hard to the east side. Chumacera is still partially in, so Toxic in a really good spot over there. We're hovering over Torch right now a little bit as well, also in a good compound on the south side of zone. So many teams are on the east, whether that's the southeast or the northeast north side, that have to find their way into zone right now. And eventually that big ridge that we saw the 7 Kings kind of commanding up there, that's going to come out into this farm field here. So lots of interesting rotations for several teams right now. RMV pushing into a decent spot on the map right now, closer to TXC and Main Gaming right now. But there's a lot to keep an eye on. 9 teams alive, 34 players, and we're approaching the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, so Dub Up got this knock onto Torch, and they're going to come down with a double knock. Is that both from Wabaku there? Doing some nasty work with the Mini. I almost want to go into perspective, but I wanted to stay here with Wiz and see how he's going to get these reses off, if he's going to go for it. He's got to get to precision soon, but he's being pushed off now.
Oh, is the smoke in the right spot? He went for the wrong res.
I wonder if that was on purpose. It almost seemed kind of like he just said, let me get in.
It seemed personal.
A little precision just...
He's like, no.
Yeah,
and they go for the guy bleeding. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'll have to bring that up with the team leader OH here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Dom, but hey, who knows? A lot crazier on the battlefield there, but it did look like a deliberate turn away from the guy.
Like, I couldn't get to you, man. Couldn't get to you, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, my bad, dude. That's too funny right now. Things starting to heat up on the north side of zone as well. But right now, Dub Hub kind of holding out this SI squad. And I think they're kind of just down to this one last member. Is Panda probably going to end up pulling up eventually onto Torch. They can just kind of hang out on this edge. They are in now, but I think they're going to, there you go, long range Dub Hub picking up some like, very important kills. Already down to our 8 teams now, so everyone's going to be getting a placement point. Very important for most of these teams. It looks like Ernster on the kill feed picking up another point onto BH. So these are very, very important interactions between teams on the outside looking in right now. It looks like Main Gaming with a very decent round so far, 5 kills. I'm not sure when they lost Acid Burn, but the 7 Kings on a full push down here right now. Main Gaming kind of confined to these buildings right now. They might get a little bit of help from third parties here, but the 7 Kings on a little bit of a split push here. Very interesting to watch.
Yeah, where they split was completely out of the sight lines for this team. Again, just showing the little nuances that the 7 Kings have when they play, that they kind of almost knew, because I'm sure they probably play that hill that they were on very often, so they know how to just make the perfect push. Now they're already in, but Flores there catching a lot of damage on the Quavo. He just needs to get this knock, but that's where the trade comes in, and this is where things start to fall apart for Main Gaming. FNX also goes down as well. Ernster with the knock on the Warhawk. Almost got back-to-back shots there. Nade coming in immediately down to 2 health. Just so quick how 7 Kings operate. You know they're going to get into this building pretty quickly here.
Yeah, really good push from 7 Kings. And unfortunately, Polaris almost had a knock there, and he just got stacked. So it's just too good of a push from the full squad here. And now, and just down to Ernster here, who's going to have to deal with a full 4-man of the 7 Kings here, and he's just reduced to this building. The nades have been coming out for some time. Ernster's got a little bit of util of his own right now, but RMV might be getting a little curious now. It's just a solo over there. Excuse me. Jumar's just kind of hanging out, surviving for now, and well, a lot of wide open zone in the center, so most teams are confined to their edges. I think might need to go check out what's going to happen with TK pushing really close to TXC up there.
Yeah, good call, Stento. This looks like the fight to be at. Potentially CK has more of this mountain. TXC's underneath it. Turbot, the top spot here. We're going to see one of the members. TXC has a P90. Nice trades coming in from OG and Bazaar. Bazaar trying to wrap around right. Nade coming in from Pixel. Onyx goes down. That's a big knock there, getting rid of the P90. Himothy's the last one left.
All over the place right now.
2v1 situation. Pixel catches him there. Nice win. I think they'll take that just losing Bazaar, and they have 8 points.
Yeah, very good game right now for CK. We didn't see much of what they did early game here, but now 8 kills, going to get back to 3 strong here, down to our final 4 teams very quickly. K7 is a 4-man. Maroon, that's the Dub Hub there, also a 4-man. CK is a 3-man, and just a solo remaining for the Bloodhound. So these are big points for the Bloodhound gang, Blitz.
Yeah, they keep making it into the finals, I feel like, today, which is really good. Quavov seems like
Quavov's about to nade this shack, though, so it's going to be short-lived. Actually, does he have an angle there? That went in. There you go. Out in 4th place. BH, some very big points, though, for them. 7 Kings, another very strong round, commanding Miramar on this Monday tonight. 10 kills already, and again, down to our final 3 teams here. CK is on the high side here. 7 Kings beginning to kind of work their way up, and the Dub Hub out to the southeast side of zone. Shift, not too crazy. All teams getting a little bit of action in zone right now. So it might be a little bit of time before we see anything too crazy go down right now. Turbot, long range with the SLR. Going to take a little bit of damage and back off.
Yeah, you know, so we must have missed it here. I might have missed you mention it, but when we were watching CK take out Toxic, that Dub Hub moved on Torch, and there were still 2 members left, so they got through Torch, and Dub Hub seems like they're making a comeback. You asked me who I wanted to see, and I mentioned Dub Hub as one of the teams there with A&E to step up here in the last 2 games, and they've made it into the Final 4. It's 3v4v3, as you mentioned. Obviously, with the 7 Kings in here, they might be looking for a 3-peat tonight, three wins potentially, as Ranger goes down, but they're going to be able to get that up, and there is a potential here where 7 Kings could get third party from both teams with the higher location, but we'll see how it plays out. Because this is what I was going to say.
Right now,
Dub Hub is going to take this ridge here to the left, which might funnel in the Seven Kings. We'll see how they counterplay it.
Yeah, this is such an interesting end game because there's so much high ground. There's such interesting terrain right now, and it's down to just 3 teams. Some very good teams. CK, obviously Seven Kings, our first place team in this tournament for the NA section, and the Dub Hub, who are having a very strong couple of games here on Miramar, getting themselves back into the top 8 conversation right now. And I just keep hearing the AWM from Tacticals. Broke the vest and helmet of Turbot. Got a knock onto Ranger Jr. a second ago. So some long range shots right now from Seven Kings, putting damage both down onto the Dub Hub and onto CK. And this is going to be a very interesting end if you do take a look at the map now. What is a crazy split from the Seven Kings. Ranger Jr. puts Warhawk down, forcing Tacticals back right now. And this is kind of the time where the rest of these teams need to move up on Seven Kings. But Linkadox into a very interesting spot, kind of underneath Turbot here, and Quavo as well underneath on that shack. We saw him nade someone out earlier, so this revive is going to happen on the edge right now. And Pixel with some well-timed shots. Now, there you go. Very well done from Pixel to find that knock right as it came off. And now it's CK's time to act here. They've got the high ground still. They're going to have to jump and parachute, I think, at some point here. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a little bit of a Tom Cruise ending here, Blitz.
Yeah, I love this. I was just thinking the same thing, Sento, that before, this team would just be completely screwed.
Both of us just got Tom Cruise on the mind right now. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then now CK is going to be able to actually get out of here. If they hold long enough, though, they might really be able to catch the Seven Kings out.
Really close down low. He's got the P90. This is just a game-breaking type of a gun here.
It gets
He's got the 50 clip in it.
Can he get Linkadox? He doesn't need to reload. Stun coming in. I think he blocked it. He looked away. Perfect play. Gets the double kill.
Veteran play, Turbot. Come on.
And there you go.
Brody takes down the final member. Well done from Turbot to turn around there. Quickly flips to the SLR. Drops Cheech from long range, who just knocked Pixel. So now we have a 2-on-2. Turbot's going to get that thirst. I'm not sure what's going on the high side. Blitz maybe flip back to that. I'm not sure if they're going to get that revive off. It's already happening. So Dub Hub now a little bit of a disadvantage. They need to get underneath this cliff here and find a way to deal with Turbot, because he's kind of the X factor here out to this rock. He's got the P90 in his hands. We've already seen what he can do with the long range SLR as well. And now the Dub Hub from above. Ranger Jr. gets him. Pixel tries to shoot as he falls. Unfortunately, Ranger Jr. can't get that knock there. Wabaku is down to just 1 bullet. And then he's going to get him with the reload. Big game for CK there, Blitz. 14 kills and some clutch plays from some of the solos, just rapping and dealing with what they needed to there. Again, a big game for CK, 14 kills in the win. Another big game for the Dub Hub, 11 kills in a second place. And Seven Kings looked like they were going to win that game for a second and go back to back. But they're going to take a 3rd place instead with 10 kills.
Wow, Sento, what an amazing end game there. I think that had to be one of the best ones so far. That and both Miramars were really great there. We saw Quavo made that great move with the P90.
That was action-packed at the end there with the cliffs and everything, man.
Oh, it was incredible. And then, Quavo...
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, Turbot kind of took a play out of Quavo's book there with the P90 flank, and that was the move. And Turbot's been the X factor, as we talked about. When he's playing with CK, they just are playing on another level. And honestly, Stento, in old PUBG, if you were at that spot, you were most likely going to get eliminated because you couldn't get down the mountains. But now with the parachutes, that's a playable area and probably the best spot, really. So a lot has changed in PUBG over the years, and now that's kind of the way to go, is to be up high.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that was shaping up to me. I thought that Seven Kings had gotten in such a good spot that they were kind of with their split, just eventually have too many angles on these teams. And it was a good knock, I think, from the Bolty of Ranger Jr. or Pixel. Someone knocked Warhawk, who was on the edge, and it forced a member back there for the res, and then they weren't able to kind of get back from that edge.
Good point.
And I think that was probably when Turbot snuck underneath, maybe at that point. That gave him some time to kind of get underneath. And just a very big double kill. You saw him turn away from the stun. You just love those tiny little quirky plays, because some people might just blind charge for the second one and eat that stun, and then Link is going to re-peek and just destroy you there. So you know, turning 45 degrees to the left.
Perfect.
Blocks the stunner, you know, maybe still you get the audio stun, but you can see there in Turbot just clutching up there in a very job well done, excuse me, for the rest of CK as well, man. They all did very good job. So we got one more match. We're heading back to Erangel, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get the lobby set up right now, and we'll see you guys in just a few minutes.
Okay, I just reset the GoXLR. I think we're good on the audio front now coming in.
You can check your OBS to see in live time if we're refracting,
Yeah. No,
on the log or not.
audio's coming in here. GoXLR had an issue. Sorry about that, everybody. So it looks like we were missing out on the audio there. My apologies. Right now we are in late into the game, so sorry about that, everybody. We just watched CK kind of come third party in on some action there with TLL. I'll mention in the chat here so people know that we fixed a little late time. Look at this, Nento. 2 care packages for main gaming over here.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that they just took a knock there. They might lose Ernster to the Dub Hub here. The smokes are out. Dub Hub is up on the hill. They're going to need some really good shots to kind of prevent this push.
FNX going down. Ernster knocked as well. They tried to get these care package. Dub Up landed up top here again. We kind of missed some stuff. Got a little disoriented with the audio issues. Trying to catch back up with what's going on in game 5 here. We're on with the Dub Hub right now. They've taken this interesting area north of Milta Power. Here's the current circle. 7 Kings playing pretty slow this round. I think they're pretty content with their day so far. They've racked up a ton of points. PI overlooking TXC. Molly coming in from nap time. PI flanking around here. Trying to check where they are in the leaderboards. Notorious goes down. Molotov trying to go for a quick revive. Toxic moving in. This could be a couple extra points for them. Nap time holding it up. Triple OG trying to get some shots with the barrel. Doesn't quite connect though. Can Himothy get some shots? He needs to heal as well. Nade coming in from OG. Boatman's down. Nade's going to bounce out. OG on the flank, though. Tocic's in 5th place.
A couple members left here for PI. They're going to go down there. A good push up by Triple OG. Sorry, my mic was off there for a sec. But Toxic picking up 3 big kills here. Down to just 10 team splits, 30 alive. Lots of early game carnage here. Not even halfway through the round, and we're halfway through all our players. And this is just a zone we've seen a number of times as well. The side of this prison hill, wide open. The wood yards involved. Teams are going to be working their way off the coast, the east side as well. Main gaming in the Dub Hub. Fighting over some packages over there. Dub Hub now kind of swimming off the water. And we're now tuning into Tacticals and the 7 Kings. In a decent spot on the south side here. They really just need to watch out for AFI and TXC. So some heavy hitters here. Blitz kind of meeting on the south side of this zone here pretty soon.
Yeah, and look at the zone. I mean, it's completely empty in the center. And 7 Kings are kind of flexing out here to watch AFI, who had to move from the mini Milta Power over to the compounds over here, but they're still not in zone.
AFI is pulled up there now, so they're going to try to work in on foot through 7 Kings and TXC right now. This is going to be almost impossible task for a 3-man of AFI. They've actually gotten back in their cars. They're going to try to drive into a better spot. Unfortunately, Quavo's on the high side of this all. He's already got a nade in his hand. Now laying down some good shots. He takes down Zal. Warhawk with the nade from the low side. They know exactly where they are, pulled up on these cars. It's just going to be a little bit of a red zone situation here. Can't really make out any clear sights here. Now the stun, some long range shots coming down. from some third parties here.
Warhawk with the double throwables. Now he's going to back off a little bit because I think he saw TXC, tagged him a little bit. Doesn't want to overstep his boundaries here. And AFI is obviously in a really tough spot. So it's only going to be kind of inevitable here that AFI gets eliminated, most likely, unless they pull off some kind of miracle. Kind of curious how aggressive TXC is going to get here because they don't need to be aggressive. They can just play pretty passively here. Tacticals and Warhawk kind of flanking on the left side here. Gonna go back to Linkadox, who's pushed up the other way. Circle just rotated up north. So these teams all have to move that way.
Yeah, this is such an interesting 3-team fight here. Again, by some heavy hitters, AFI, 7 Kings, and TXC. Some of our top teams in North America on controller right now. In light, actually takes down Linkadox, who's a little bit separated from the rest of his team here, but the rest of them already got the smokes out. They're pushing over, and this kind of opened the door for TXC to get re-involved. Boat and Triple OG are getting a little bit closer. They're going to push over the top here and take down Hobie as well. So now this gives 7 Kings a little bit of a chance to regroup onto Linkadox here. That revive is going off, and now it's just one member of AFI here. Light kind of forced to just kind of hang out here in this spot on the edge, on the cars where they pulled up. He's got a 3-man of TXC above him and the 4-man of 7 Kings right next to him. So we've got little to nothing he can really do on this spot. I am seeing some knocks on the other side of the map. Blitz. I'm not sure if that's close range. I think MG got a knock onto one of the members of DH. They're actually going to get that flush there. The rest of DH is on the coast. So MG is in a really good spot there for this end game, and we might see a little bit of a fight between AE and the 187Zs breakout on the top of the map near prison. But this is still kind of a lot to be decided here on the south side as well between TXC and the 7 Kings. TXC is now, again, I thought they were 3-man, excuse me. They're already 4-man up, still 6 kills, and some insane plays breaking out here, but Linkadox takes down Onyx with a quick AK kill, instantly thirsts him.
Yeah, Timothy trying to rotate down this hill, gets knocked from tacticals there. Thought TXC was going to be able to get past 7 Kings, but they kind of slowed down a little bit, and you're going to see Quavo coming around from the side. Might be the finisher for the 7 Kings. Again, 7 Kings in first place. Spraying on the team, getting the pickup there. Timothy gets flushed out. Triple OG still up, trying to rotate up and keep their game alive here. Nice shots from Triple OG, but they don't land enough, and Quavo responds really well with the barrel red dot, and it's just Boatman left who gets the knock. M4 Heady onto Quavo. Quavo's actually kind of got some cover.
This broke down. Yeah, I was gonna say it broke out quickly, but it all happened very quickly here. And 7 Kings often, as we see them, just with an insane split right now. So it's kind of up to Tacticals to make a play, and he does. He was pushing for that res. He saw Boat on the flank, takes him down with a 3x on the AUG, takes a second player down. Clean plays by Tacticals all night, and it's actually AE who pick up the thirst onto that member. So 7 Kings are gonna lose one member, but very quickly down to our final 12 players, 5 teams, 22 minutes have passed. Splits. This is just a ridiculous final game with so many deaths already.
Yeah, what a game. Apologies for the audio issues earlier on this match. Exciting here for Main Gaming in Dubhub. Dubhub might be stuck here on the water. They're looking at the last member of P9 Blitzy. It was amazing that he stayed alive this whole game. We were on board with them earlier when their team kind of got killed off the bat. And Main Gaming center should be able to pick off a lot of people rotating in, but this is a tough spot to get good angles on center, right? There's not much cover. I mean, you have the crates, but once you leave the crates, there's not much to work with. And a good place nade from the dub hub could take out Main Gaming very easily, but it'd be awesome to see them finish strong here, considering where they are in the leaderboards. And just like that, last game of the day, 23 minutes in, we're down to our final 4 in phase 6. You know the games are going quick when final 4 hits in this phase.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, they're kind of limited to these crates here, and it's probably only a matter of time, as you said, before the dub hub got to come off that coast here. And Ernst is really got the main responsibility with the AWM here to try to get a knock. And right now on the other side of the map, AE is being met by 7 Kings. We should probably see how serious that fight is breaking out now. AE is starting to get some smokes on the ground. It's all long range. It looks like Bliss. Dubhub actually stealing that kill, I think, from long range from the coast. So heads up play from Cheech. Again, we've mentioned several times the Dubhub just squeaking their way into the top 9 right now, maybe even top 8. So every single point is very important right now for these teams like the Dubhub, like Main Gaming, trying to work their way into the top 9 as well. So some very important points to be picked up from several teams here right now.
Yeah, again, I really want to see what Main Gaming can do with this. Look at the spread from 7 Kings. They've one guy in the water. Lincoln Doc's in the center here. This is really going to hurt the Dubhub. Warhawk spraying with the AK. From a long distance, not giving them much to work with. Cheech still has that kind of big rock over there. Going for the flush.
I'm sorry, I did not, like, when did Warhawk get over there?
You know, they were kind of always over there. I just don't realize when he got all the way to that side. And what happened to Blurtsy?
What?
I mean, they were leaving from they were kind of by the road, so it wasn't not that crazy here. Main Gaming, I think,
I guess. Oh yeah, they got to look out here. Some nades are gonna start to ring out towards Main Gaming. They're all in the same crate. Ernst is gonna eat that one, so now they got to be very careful. Link is on the push here. This is very, very big trouble. Nade's gonna go in off the side of the crate. I think they're all in there.
Luckily, it didn't take a good bounce for the second nades coming. I think Main Gaming misplayed here by not having at least 1 or 2 members out trying to cover the push, and now the smokes are here, so it's pretty chaotic in the middle. But they allowed the 7 Kings to pull up to this area. Warhawk finally gets a nade on Polaris. Main Gaming, I mean, Ernster goes down as well. It's just Acid Burn up. 4MG in the smokes. Taking an aerial view here because we're not going to be able to see anything inside those smokes.
It's just 2 solos up versus a 3-man for the 7 Kings. So right now, just tons of smoke on the battlefield right now, and all eyes are on Acid Burn. It's going to be a good push from Tack that actually takes her down. Out in 3rd place is Main Gaming now. They've turned their attention to the Dubhub. Already 10 kills for the 7 Kings, trying to close out a very strong day today. Perhaps going for the pan to end the day.
Bounce off the rock here.
Cheech with it. This is big points for Dubhub. Everything's gonna matter. So even a nice thirst here would be very important point for them to pick up. Honestly, not sure they're gonna actually pick that up. Cheech goes out to zone. Is that what happened?
I kind of missed there. Yeah, I think he did go out to the zone there. And you're right, Sento. I mean, getting that extra point for the Dubhub, anything helps. They're currently in 8th place. So they're holding on right to the edge. And again, there's some teams that, you know, haven't even played their first 5 matches from 20 to 30 here. So we'll see how it goes. In any case, 7 Kings get their 3rd dub of the night in a lot of top 4 performances today. They're going to end with 10 total kills. The Dubhub sneaking out in the water there for a 2nd place with only 3 total kills there. Fortunate for them, but you know, they got to be happy they got the placement points. And then Main Gaming in 3rd place with just 2 kills. And again, I have to say it again. I know I already said it twice, but yeah, I'm super bummed about the audio issues. It's tough with the delay, and you know, some people had mentioned in chat, but it's always hard. There's, you know, so many things going on here. But we want to thank you guys for bearing with us and doing that. I mean, mostly we've had some great production going on our side and great gameplay from the players. It's just been an amazing event so far. Again, this is our 3rd week of qualifying, the final week of qualifying. And NA did not disappoint, Stento. I don't want to be favorited towards NA. You know, EU's been crazy, but NA has been just insane week in and week out. And all the games today were amazing, especially the ones on Miramar.
Yeah, man. You know what is kind of turning into a lopsided leaderboard at the top for 7 Kings. It has not been, you know, uneventful or boring gameplay. These teams are battling it out, and we've seen some unbelievable zones here and stuff. And there's a quick look at the leaderboard for the last time tonight. You can tell 7 Kings starting to separate themselves from the rest. But it's important to note that we have 3 groups here in the NA. So these teams have played. Certain games have played more than each other, as you can see here. Group A versus Group B tonight. Tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be here again with Group A versus Group C, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And just slowly working our way towards the final end of our regular season here, which is going to be Wednesday, Thursday. We do have an update towards the end of the week, so we might have a slight adjustment to our regular season schedule here. But plan is to finish up Wednesday, Thursday, and we're just going right into the finals, ladies and gentlemen. $5,000 finals, NA versus EU, will actually take place this Saturday and this Sunday, and then the same thing next weekend as well. So everything's really shaking out really fast here. It's been an unbelievable event. Just a big shout out to everyone who's been supporting, viewing. Big shout out to all the players and teams, and massive shout out to all our team that's helping behind the scenes that isn't out here on camera with us and stuff. There's a ton of work that goes into this event. So just very grateful and thank you to guys for tuning in. Blitz, anything before we sign off here?
No, but this is the biggest week for us because we're playing today, tomorrow, Wednesday, potentially makeup on Thursday, and then this weekend. So if you guys are available this week, this is the time you guys want to catch the most action and be prepared for the finals that happen in the first weekend of July, right before July 4th. So thank you guys again. Appreciate it. Well done, Stento. Great casting as always. And we'll catch you guys same time tomorrow. We'll be starting with EU again at 3 p.m. and then back to NA later in the evening. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Cheers.